Welcome to Ecomm Cowboy. This is D2C's daily show where we believe ads are not bad. Ignorance is expensive and the American dream is alive and well on the wild west of the internet. Today, it is Friday, May 15th. 2026 in the year of our Lord. We are coming to you live and in living color from an undisclosed yet beautiful location in the Austin, Texas hills. We are brought to you by Incense Seguno, Postscript, Rocked, After Sell, Axon by AppLovin, Proxima AI, and Universal Ads. And we have got a jam-packed show for you today. Thrive Capital has invested $100 million into Shopify. What does that mean for the rest of us? Probably a good sign. Meta is losing morale. Is that ultimately going to affect my ads? It may. We always want everyone over there to be happy. Starbucks has released a weighted vest. Is this real or is it AI? And the Chicago White Sox have officially debuted a Pope hat in honor of His Holiness. And there will be a Pope night coming very soon. We're going to be joined by Ashwinn, everyone's favorite brand expert of Forge Design. We're also going to be joined by Matt Wan, CEO and co-founder of Sett. As always, I am joined by my partner in crime, Colin Doherty. Colin, get in here. Get in here, Colin.
Unbelievable vibes today. Unbelievable vibes today.
Unbelievable vibes. And it is Friday. We would normally kick off this Friday with the hottest jobs in D2C and e-commerce that are available, but we've got a segment that is even more hot that we must debut and kick off now. I'm talking about bringing in here the one and only Ashwinn Krishnaswamy, partner at Forge Design. He is every favorite marketer's favorite brand expert. He is star of stage and screen, always coming to an iPhone near you. We must bring him in here and talk to him about what he is doing on the interwebs today. Ashwinn, get inside this show.
Let's go.
Get in here, Ashwinn.
Let's go.
Well, unmatched. Where's my cowboy hat? I feel like I can't be on here without a hat.
You know, we will send one to you, Ashwinn. It's only
I need one. Custom branded Ecomm Cowboy. Need a little mascot on the top of it. But
exactly.
I'm matching the vibe a little bit here. I got Western bandana.
And with Oklahoma Smokes and all that you have done over there, we know we consider you. We consider you to be very much an Ecomm Cowboy, Ashwinn. We're
kindred spirits. That's right.
We're kindred spirits, man. We appreciate you joining us and making the time, brother. You know, this is not a political show, Ashwinn, but I have to say, I was blown away to find out that you at Forge were behind the branding and campaign for Zoran, who is New York City's new mayor. Brother, can you shed a little light? I mean, I know this is probably not the normal clientele that you guys normally work with, but incredibly, beautifully well done. I mean, I feel like this was a marketing masterclass. Can you just open the kimono a little bit and tell us about this whole experience, Ashwinn?
Yeah, I'll say a couple of important things, and I'll kind of pull back some of the mystery or allure.
Yeah.
Right? How does a small agency get a big contract like this? And really, all of this was done by my two partners, Anish and Phil at Forge. You know, they were kind of like the spearheads behind the entire thing. And so we're based out in New York City, and my partner Anish was pretty politically involved, right? He was in Queens DSA back in 2019, 2020. And back then, he became pretty friendly with Zoran, who was also in Queens DSA. He was running as an assembly member back then. And so, 2019, 2020, Anish just did some work, like friend to friend. Hey, you're running for assemblyman. Let me design your palm cards and stuff. So they built a pretty good relationship. And then when it came time to Zoran, announcing that he's going to run for mayor, he basically hit up Anish and he was like, hey, listen, we're going to put out formal requests for this stuff, but I've loved the work that we've done together in the past. I like the way that you think about this type of stuff. I want to do something very bold, unique, etc. And so that was kind of it. That was kind of like the origin story of this.
Wow.
Now, what I think is really important about that campaign, right? We come from the world of CPG kind of branding and design. We're, really working in the space like D2C e-commerce. And so much of that work is how do you get people to understand a thing quickly, stop and pay attention, and stand out relative to your competitors, right?
For sure.
Everything is winning and dying on the shelf, whether that's the digital shelf of Amazon or the retail shelf of Whole Foods. And so everything, like design is just an expression of like what the strategy is to actually stand out. And so you can take that kind of design thinking and apply it to any other category. And that's where I think you can actually do some really interesting work. So you take that into the world of politics and it's like, all right, what is everyone else saying on the left and right, right? What are their traditional colors? What are their traditional tropes? Okay, they're speaking like this. Okay, cool. We're going to do the opposite of that. Instead of saying like, oh, we seek to generate economic surplus for all citizens of fucking New York City. It's like, we're just going to give you fast and free buses. It's like, we're going to simplify messages into things that people remember. And so, again, Anish did a phenomenal job with a lot of that messaging, the entire kind of brand identity work. And when I say it was like one person, it was like one person concepted the entire like brand identity.
Wow.
Other designers executing on like certain posters. But if you look at kind of like 98% of the visual work that came out of that was Anish. And then my other partner, Phil, did all the digital work, right? The front end and a lot of like the back end architecture for Canvas and stuff. So that's pretty cool. And they actually work for Zoran in like the New York City administration now, kind of like doing brand and design there. Yeah.
Crazy.
So, pretty cool.
Wow.
That is a wild meeting of convergence of worlds there, Ashwin. And I mean, to me, it seems like maybe there's a little more credence now to everyone everywhere dipping their toes a little bit more and dipping some of the strategy and talent that we've all been seeing in the CPG and D2C and Ecomm world. Maybe there is some broadening of the horizons there. That makes all the sense in the world to me.
I think I always say this, that like CPG is a brutally hard business to go build it, right? Because you need to be really good on the product front. You need to be good on the operations front. You need to be good on the finances front. You need to be like ruthless on the marketing front. And you're operating with these kind of like thin margins, right? There's not a lot of like, to be really good at stuff. So you find that most of the innovation in terms of like marketing and customer acquisition is like from kind of CPG operators, right? They're getting outsized attention. If you think about clipping strategies now, there was a company called Tabs. They make like sex chocolates, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Who ran that. And in 2020, he kind of like started with the strategy of hiring 1,000 different creators, having them all have their dedicated TikTok accounts, generating 30, 40, 50 videos a day, right? And now it's become like almost a mainstream strategy that like people in the media are using, people in music are using. But you have to find these kind of like clever hacks and ways to get attention that you kind of sharpen your skills, where if you go into the world of B2B and politics, it's like, they don't like think like that. The marketers there, especially if they've been in that space for a long time. So I actually think there's a lot of opportunity for talent to go to these other spaces and like yield outsized results.
It's a great point.
That's incredible. I love the idea of a politician potentially just like doing a clipping strategy of like 1,000 people and just rock and rolling with it. I would love for you to talk about.
I think we're going to see that, especially with some of these younger guys. There's James Fishback down in Florida. There's Jack Schlossberg, running kind of like his social media stuff. And I think like the younger guys and girls like understand it. They understand how like social is moving. The game. We're going to tap into all of this stuff.
That's interesting. Well, I mean, jumping off of that, like in that same vein of creators, you had a very interesting take very recently about VCs hiring creators. I would love for you to dive into this take and kind of explain your stance on it and what you think this means for kind of the quote unquote standard VC guy.
I was having a conversation with my brother-in-law a few months ago, who is a partner at a fund called Health Velocity Capital. They invest in health tech companies, and they have a really, really good niche and kind of a reputation in that space. And they've, made some great investments. And they've recently been doing some of this like brand positioning work, how they present themselves in the marketplace. And they were talking to a founder in a deal that they were trying to get into, who ultimately ended up working with them. And they were kind of doing this postmortem, like, hey, why did you potentially not go with us? Why did you potentially go with these other guys? And the founder was basically saying like, dude, you guys, I feel like are the best kept secret in the world of healthcare VC. Like, you have this amazing track record, you have this amazing network and reputation, but no one knows it. And my brother-in-law's like, dude, that's a fucking disaster. Like,
that's a problem.
Yeah. It's terrible.
You know, it's like, we need to solve that. And so a handful of months ago, we were having this conversation, and he was kind of talking about a couple of very niche creators in the health tech, like healthcare vertical space, both on LinkedIn and Twitter. And he's like, hey, what do you think about like engaging one of these guys? Like, is it sponsored posts that we do with them? Do we bring them on as like an EIR? Like, where does the juice become worth it for them, right? Like, short of making them a partner at our fund, it seems like they already have their own media business. And so we're kind of like talking about this idea, and he's like, yeah, it's this conversation that we're all having in the world of VC, right? Most VCs go out there and they're like, we're just going to start our own podcast and like do the 20 VC model. The 20 VC model, like, Harry is a good interviewer, and he started that 12 years ago, right? So he's already built up like this audience. No one wants to listen to the 97th VC podcast from like two like 29-year-old guys who just raised a fund. You know, it's like, okay, that's not that interesting. So now VCs are like, okay, well, we have the capital, but we need more people to understand that we exist, right? Deals are competitive. So how are we going to increase our aperture for deal flow? And how are we going to say like, hey, my dollar is better than Colin's dollar? Right? Because if we're coming to you, it's just like, well, these are just both two guys who both have like, you know, equivalent size funds.
Big bag.
What else can they provide? Unless they built my exact business and like have an immense amount of like operational insight, I don't fully trust why one is better than the other. So I think there is this angle. Someone commented on one of my videos, like, there's this angle of, you know, audience and deal flow that they're buying, but there's also this kind of like cultural capital where it's like, yeah, we might not be Andreessen Horowitz, but like, we got these three faces, and you see these three faces like on the internet all the time. Oh, okay. Like, they're cool. My friends knows those guys. So there's a little bit of that happening too. But it's like, it's also just one subset of this whole kind of new media conversation, right? That every industry, every vertical, every company is having, right? Everyone wants to figure out, how do we win on short form? How do we get outsized attention? How do we go direct to like the type of consumer audience that we're trying to attract? And we're just seeing it play out in venture. We're going to see it play out in PE and kind of across the board.
It's such an interesting phenomenon to me, because this is like largely categoried in like, this is like big boy money. It's like blue blood money, you know, in my mind. I have always wondered about this, or I've wondered about this for the past 2 or 3 years, about this same kind of thing at a lower kind of nitty gritty D2C type level, especially for brands who, you know, some people really crack creators, others don't. It's frustrating. Oh, it's so much money, you know, all of the things. And I have always wondered, and I really wanted to do this when we were at Bruce Bolt, when we were growing that baseball company, about bringing a young up and coming creator in-house, allowing them to keep everything that they're doing outside of that, but bringing them in-house, giving them a steady paycheck, and allowing them to both build your brand and their brand by getting them in early, and really in some ways making your brand the influencer. I think that idea connects with a lot of founders. But do you think there's credence to this, to bringing creators, especially on the up and coming, inside of D2C brands and natively pushing content that way?
Yeah, I think the answer is yes and no. Yes, from a standpoint of, there are instances where it's done really well. Like, there is this one creator, I think her name is Olivia, and she works with this brand called Opal, which is like a time blocking app for your phone. Yeah. And she was hired by this company and built a really good TikTok presence where she makes content about like how to reclaim your mind, right? And she has this traditional format, like whiteboard in the back. She'll be like, here are 3 tips to like reclaim your brain from doom scrolling. Like, super relevant, etc. And then in the video, she's never like, and that's why you should go download Opal, right? It's just, Opal sits as a link in the bio. She draws all these views and impressions, and then you have this kind of trickle in. I think that's an example of one where it works really well. I think there's kind of this tension where, if you have a creator who has built enough of an audience and is getting enough in terms of like deal flow, partnerships, etc., it's like really hard to make the economics work for a company to come in and be like, we'll pay you 5, 10, 15, 20. It's just like, well, if I'm partnering with AG1, they're willing to like pay XYZ plus usage. And like, I don't have to worry about like being a growth engine for their business.
Right.
So I think that's a little bit of attention. You almost have to find a creator who's like on the come up, or on someone who's the bones for it, put them through like training, and then like really build them in-house as an employee. But we also see now how things are shifting with just like clipping and like multi-creator strategies and like just getting more shots on goal. So yes and no.
That makes a ton of sense. I think it only works if you dig somebody up and train them up, and because otherwise the economics just don't make sense. Just don't.
And speaking of brands, could you talk a little bit about what is going on with Oklahoma Smokes? I was following it very intently, and I thought it was the coolest idea in the entire world, because I was like, this is amazing. What is going on with it?
Yeah. So we are, let's see. So I'll kind of give you like some backstory too, and then I'll
please
where we are today. So so I started this agency in 2018, Forge. And in 2019 was probably when we first started working in like the world of CPG and D2C, right? And so we helped launch this company called Birth Date Candles. They make Zodiac candles, like a candle for every day of the year. That business, like, took off like a rocket ship after the first year. And the founder of that business was very plugged into the D2C space. So he made a bunch of intros to us, and like, we're just kind of off to the races in that space. So basically our specialty was going from like idea to launch, right? Brand strategy, packaging design, setting up a storefront, and kind of like initial kind of like content go to market. When you go through that process a number of times, you just develop the skill set and the kind of like, okay, I see what works. I see what doesn't work. I kind of like have parameters in my head of a type of business that we should launch. So I always had in my mind, like, okay, I want to launch something else. And then one of my buddies from college who runs a venture fund that invests in cannabis and cannabis adjacent technology came to me, and this was probably late 2019. And he was just like, hey, I think there's this opportunity in like CBD form factors and exploring them. And there was like some early data that CBD usage could reduce nicotine cravings, like up to 50%. So we're like, okay, that's kind of interesting. All of the products on the market at the time were CBD like spliffs, like actual joints that were going for a marijuana kind of like consumer, like marijuana alternate consumer.
Yeah.
Our thought was, hey, what if you put this in a cigarette form factor and then go after the nicotine consumer, right? And say like, one-to-one kind of like replacement alternative for cigarette smokers. So we, I kind of like did all the branding. I worked with this great illustrator, did all the branding, set up the storefront, and we kind of go launch. And we launched, when was it? Late 2020, maybe 2021. And we launched, and we're just like, okay, cool. We'll like post some stuff on Instagram. But we didn't really think about the paid acquisition side. We didn't think about like the acquisition side of this, like, much, right? You kind of like learn trial by fire. And we're like, okay, we can't run Facebook ads. Seems like everyone's running Facebook ads. Can't run Facebook ads. It's CBD. It's a combustible. We're also selling it like a $13 price point. So TikTok was kind of taking off at the time. So I got on TikTok one day. I made like one TikTok video, and we did like $10,000 in sales off of that TikTok.
Wild.
This was 2021, and like TikTok's giving out views like crazy, right? Our first 40 videos all had like over 1 million views, right? So every day I'm in there, I'm just like making TikTok videos, and I'm like, hey, cigarette, it's made with CBD, it's addictive free. It's the same video I'm making almost every day, different sounds and stuff. So TikTok basically became this acquisition engine for us. And we're like, okay, this is the channel, and we're just gonna like kind of grow through organic here. So again, I'm running my agency at this time. My partner is running his venture fund. We're both just kind of like doing this part-time. I'm just like making TikToks. And we're kind of like, we're growing. We probably get to like months where we're doing like 75K to 100K. Awesome. It's profitable. Each of us put in like $4,500 into the business, and we're like, okay, this is like cool. We have, we're both in New York City. We have someone helping us out on the fulfillment side. We have someone helping us out on the CX side. It was so we basically figured out an organic channel, but an organic channel is tough because your customers come in as a virtue of like your ability to make content that gets widely distributed, right? So it's kind of like hard to predict month over month, like where's the growth going to come from? Are we going to have viral bangers? You know, we hired a bunch of creators. We did the tab strategy. We incentivized our existing creators to make content, like gave them cash rewards for like creating stuff. And, you know, it kind of like, you know, probably a year after this, I started making content too on like the personal, based on just like stuff I'm learning, stuff I'm doing with my clients. And so then it kind of became like even more of a backseat, but it was always just kind of like growing and like somewhat steady state of a business. And then last year we really looked at the business and we're like, okay, here's where the business is from like a top line standpoint. It's profitable. We have this like one SKU. There isn't an incredible amount of retention here because like, here's like ultimately like the insight that we found, right? We're positioning to cigarette smokers, and cigarette smokers, they have a pain where they want to quit, right? It's like 75% of them like want to quit. They're smoking pack a day, half pack a day. They want to quit. So they're interested in trying the product. They try the product. It works for the hand to mouth like habit and oral fixation, but they're like, there is such a disconnect between the taste of tobacco and nicotine and the taste of CBD, as well as the aroma of CBD.
Makes sense.
So they're like, it's not a product that I can retain or replace one-to-one. If anything, it makes me want to go back to just smoking a tobacco cigarette now. So we're like, okay, that audience that's like a non-starter audience to like basically build off of, right? Is kind of like one insight there. Then you have these other audiences, which are like social smokers or casual smokers.
Yeah.
Okay, they're great, but oftentimes they're, you know, maybe they'll buy like a pack that keeps them for like 2 or 3 months. Or they are more of an impulsive purchaser, right? Where it's like, hey, I want to buy it night of when I'm out drinking. I'm like in the Lower East Side. Like I want to find it at my convenience store.
That's it. Yeah.
So it's, and I'm giving you this kind of like whole kind of arc of this. So we kind of like looked at the business and we're like, hey, to really grow this, I think it's either you expand into different SKUs and like you kind of build a different business here. You get into retail, and we kind of tested our feet in the water with retail. I think we'd have to finance the business differently and like would have to raise some capital and really be more thoughtful and intelligent about it. Or just kind of like keep it as a D2C business. And at this time, you know, both of us like had other things that were like working quite well. And, you know, you have to just like look. There was this element of us where we're like, oh, it's such a cool brand and such a cool product. And like, we loved building it, but it's like, that's not a good reason to just like keep doing it. You know, it's like, it's a matter of opportunity cost and so on. So we found some partners who are interested in taking it into retail, expanding into SKUs. They are now kind of like working on that side of the business.
Awesome.
So we don't have like our e-commerce isn't up right now. They've kind of like put that on pause. So we'll see what the future holds for Oklahoma Smokes.
That's insightful, and I totally agree with you about that usage and those different categories of smokers, and I totally agree with you on that. And this one line has stuck with me ever since I visited this website. Something like "kick the habit, keep the ritual," something like that, right? Is that that line? That was a
great
banger.
copy.
That was a bar.
Great
that
copy.
stuck with me.
I prided myself on all of that copy. We got let me see. I got these things. We made.
There we go.
Oklahoma Smokes for tobacco quitting folks. We had some real one-liners with there, and
that's awesome.
Love the brand. We've got our Oklahoma Smokes bandana over here.
Very fitting.
Yeah.
Well, man, we appreciate you. We appreciate you making the time to join us, brother. We know that you've got to run, but we look forward to having you back. Keep crushing, and we'll keep watching and implementing everything that you talk about, man. We appreciate you.
Thank you, fellas. Loved it.
You know, I think it's time for some of our guest requests when they want a cowboy hat. Colin, I think it's time that we get them one. Don't you think?
Blast them a cowboy hat.
I think that we need to get them a cowboy hat. We need to get Ashwinn a cowboy hat.
By who?
By us. I think we need to. I think we
make our own.
We need to get him. Well, cowboy hats are expensive to make, man. They are very expensive to make. But I think we can get him a Stetson like this one, and we can get it custom branded. with a little Ecomm Cowboy logo on there, and we can
You
ship
can do
that
that with
bad boy
Stetson?
up. Oh yeah. You can totally do it. You can totally do
Okay.
it. You go to Tacovas. Tacovas will brand your boots. I think they'll brand your cowboy hat too. So very
That's pretty
possible.
cool. That's pretty cool.
Very possible. Well, great way to start a Friday with
Huge.
our boy Ashwinn coming in here hot. And goated commentary on the necessary capabilities that it takes to succeed in CPG, in hard D2C categories, and why you dig up that talent and apply them in other kind of older form of marketing categories,
Yeah.
and they go in there and crush. No secret now why
Yeah.
those Zoran campaigns did so well. I thought they crushed that. I thought they crushed it.
Yeah, and also hilarious insight into basically like at the end of the day, VCs also kind of have to be in the cool kids club if you want your money to be taken and all dogs are equal.
Yeah.
Coolness factor is a real thing, and you
Cool
kind of
factor.
need a little coolness.
Cool factor goes a long way. At the end of the day, a lot of branding choices to be made. Who do I want to associate myself with if I can get the same bag from every corner? Fair point. As we move forward to our hot jobs of the day, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about Postscript. Focus is an amazing thing, is it not? When one focuses, you get outsized results. I know you got some SMS partner right now, does 6 or 7 other things all together, and it's convenient. But when people make the switch to Postscript, who only does SMS marketing, period, they see an average 22% plus 22% increase in SMS revenue. Now, I saw a whole lot more than that. We went from making very little money to being a top 1% account on their entire platform. And the secret was I just did what they said. And what they are saying right now is that there's a ton of money to be made when your customers actually text you back and you leave them on red, or even worse, you send them an autoresponder, email us at blah, blah, blah. Go to the conversational report, direct-to-consumer.co/the conversational report. You're going to get all the data on what's possible when Postscript's AI shopper has one-to-one conversations with all of your customers at scale while you sleep, making money for you while you sleep. Okay, we just had Nate Lagos on here. AI shopper made him an extra $17,000 in the first day they turned it on. Brand voice, brand knowledge, etc. Go and talk with Postscript. Get the conversational report. Tell them Colin I sent you. Many thanks for them being part of the show. Now, it is time. It is time for one of our favorite segments of the week. Don't bring it up yet, Jack. I'm not ready. I'm not ready to play this sound, but I want to play this sound because I consider it a crucial part of this show every time that we do it. I am getting there and I'm almost there. It is everyone's favorite time of the week. It is the one and only Hot Jobs.
Caliente.
Now, the way this works, Colin has found 2 jobs. I have found 2 jobs. We will make our case for why it is the best position available on the interwebs this week, and Jack shall be the decider of who wins. We begin with you, Colin Doherty. Kick us off here with job number 1.
Oh, we're going to dive into a nice little legacy brand named Vans. Have you ever heard about it? Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Once or twice. An awesome brand, an awesome legacy brand. You're going to be hanging out in Costa Mesa, California, a little hybrid role. You're going to be making $87,000 a year. You need 4 years experience, and it's going to be pretty awesome. I would say the fact that you get to manage seasonal product life cycles for Vans is pretty exceptional. I mean, this is an iconic brand. They have some really good staples as well. There's a lot of products in this brand that already have basically staple pieces that you get to manage. You get to innovate on. This is going to be an incredible kind of resume notch. And you get to grow with a really cool company in beautiful California. And let's just say, because it's hybrid, maybe you're hitting the waves a couple times a week. You know?
In your Vans. That's what I'm saying. Like, you get
your
Vans is perfect for California. Like, you're rocking and rolling.
Maybe you slip on down the coast there and you surf with Max Grantham down in San Diego, California, every now and again, once a week or so. And then you get a Van Man's Burger on the way back up the PCH before you roll into the office. I mean, it sounds like a great win. Sounds like a good opportunity. Now,
it's a pure vibes brand.
There may be opportunity to make more money in other places, but a great resume builder, 4 years experience. Totally agree with you. Great find on your side. Next job position coming from me, Vela, founding head of growth. Now, I'm doing a little bit of a reach here, okay? It's a little bit of a reach, okay? Vela is it's cleaning business. They are using AI to decide, to evaluate, hey, your house, your job, what you want to get cleaned, how long is it going to take? And we are going to make sure that the right person gets there and executes it succinctly, well, etc. Vela is looking for a founding head of growth. Okay. They are 10 times larger than all of their competitors combined in the DFW area. Okay. They are crushing. Now, I say this, they have no head of growth. All of their growth has been organic. They do zero paid ads. They do nothing. And they are looking to grow beyond the DFW and crush in other metro areas and beyond. $1 trillion industry. This pay base 150 to 200, on target earnings 225 to 250. You're going to get a little bit of equity too. 0.5%, 1 to 1.5%. You're going to own the demand engine, report directly to the CEO, which is really nice. And if you've got some local services or marketplace experience, it helps. This is a hybrid in Dallas or Austin. You know that this is exciting. Okay, service, SaaS, a meeting of the minds, a melding of man and machine. Your thoughts on this, Colin?
I didn't know we could put in service and SaaS into this thing.
I know,
and now you're just changing up everything.
I said I'm reaching a little bit. It's a little bit of a reach, but it's paid
This
acquisition.
is a huge reach.
Head of growth. Okay, we've got a lot of agencies. Okay, we've got a lot of people in the service business among us. Okay, so it's a little bit of a reach, but a great opportunity nonetheless.
Yeah, nice TAM. Really nice TAM to go after.
Really nice TAM. Okay, job number 3, Colin Doherty.
Oh, I mean, that's not Jelly. That's not Jellycat.
I missed the pick here.
It's not Jellycat, but Jellycat is the job here. The reason that I picked Jellycat here is because I don't know if anyone here knows what's going on with Jellycat and the virality of it, and the fact that every girl in North America is basically scooping these things up for $30, $40, $50 and not even blinking twice about it. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
The Jellycats are incredible. People are hoarding collections of them. It's fully remote. You get $100K a year, 5 years experience. You get 30 days PTO performance bonus. You get to manage the online sales, which is where all of the stuff is going. Strategic plays. So you get to do all of the cool strategic launches for Jellycats, which are already trending so aggressively right now. And you get to manage the website. So you get to actually be the manager of actually that full landscape. This is a home run role. This is going to be so fun, unbelievably fun. And you're going to be the coolest kid.
It's a great op. Now, again, it is remote. You need 5 years experience. It's not 500K, but it's a good pay.
Yeah.
And it's a great opportunity to get in on like one of the fastest growing, most exciting plush toys, children's category growing, etc. It's an incredible opportunity. Highly recommend. 30 days of PTO is kind of bananas, is it not?
Plus performance bonus.
When I saw that 30 days of PTO, I was like, wow, man, somebody's like really, that's like a month and a half, basically.
This is a crazy opportunity. Like, this is such a cool opportunity.
And I would say, just for me, I'd say I would prefer 30 days of PTO versus just unlimited PTO, because unlimited PTO always means like you just got to keep working wherever you're going. But when they give you a hard number, like, I can actually take the day off. Is that fair?
Yeah, just give me a month. So like all of October, just I'll batch it all into one, and you won't see me for October.
Yeah. Or you like play the game where like there's already gonna be federal holidays.
Oh, yeah.
And then people are gonna be out of office, and then you can like back it up, and there's always like some calendar games you can play.
Nick Shackelford had a great post about that and was like, do you want to maximize your PTO? Here's how to get, and then just like laid it out. It was actually unbelievable. It was really fun.
Great opportunity. E-commerce manager, Jellycat North America. Next job, Jack. This last one, Nude, head of digital. Brian Cano, I believe, was at Nude at one time. Then at True Classic, now doing his own thing, building 10, 12 plus brands at one time. Remote, I do not have a salary range here, okay? But once you hear other details, I think you will get a hint about what the salary range is. You're going to own the D2C growth engine. It is on you, big boy or big girl. You are owning this thing, okay? Yeah. You're going to manage a performance creative specialist, paid media contractor, key agency relationships. You need 7 to 10 years of experience in growth with P&L accountability. I mention that because this is for a very specific kind of person who has held responsibility and authority for a long time for fast-growing, significant D2C brands. It is going to be resting on your shoulders. Now, take all that into account. Take into account that Brian Cano used to hold this position or a similar one at Nude. Think about what the salary implications here are. Okay, this is remote. You don't have to be in Austin. Go ahead, Colin.
I'd probably guesstimate that the salary range is probably like 150 to 175.
Oh, no.
More?
Really? This has got to be 2+. Got to be 10 years of P&L accountability with growth. I mean, this has got to be 2+ in my mind.
I don't know, because it's not CMO. It's head of digital. You're not a chief executive. You're not in the C-suite. This is a head of role. So I would say it's right under that range, maybe squeaking up to 175 and maybe 190.
Okay. All right. I think you have a point. A point. Let me take a different route. Route. It's super exciting. Beauty category. Get rid of all of your hair forever. Incredibly useful device. And I'm kind of selling to Jack right now. Jack, women are all the time, investing in how they present themselves. And Nude has transformed this whole world and allowed people to, get rid of hair wherever they want, in kind of like crazy places. Okay. Just saying. These other advertisements are a little wild and they definitely stand out on the timeline. Beauty category, super exciting. And it would be a great company to get involved in if you're into presenting yourself, putting your best foot forward. Okay, so
placating to the judges.
I think that covers it. I think that covers us. Let's review. Let's go backward and let's just take a look at them. We got Nude. We got head of digital at Nude. We got Jellycat, Ecomm manager North America. Vela, make lots of money with Vela, and we got Vans, digital merchandiser. Jack, what is your decision here? We are looking to you. Don't go with that one. Don't go.
Going for Jellycat again. 2 weeks in a row, baby. Let's go.
Just know, Jack, that if you had chosen one of these others, I'd have probably doubled or tripled your salary. I mean, just look, you go to Jellycat, you're making whatever. Then you go to these others, you're making, 2-3x more. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying. Well,
changing it
regardless.
Now. She says changing it now.
Regardless of what Jack has chosen, these are all incredible opportunities. You need to make a friend and find your way in. Regardless of what is happening in the AI world, there are incredible e-com companies that are hiring actual humans. We celebrate this, and we will put this out on the timeline. Find a cousin, find a second or third network effect, LinkedIn connection, and shoot your shot, make a video, make a friend, shake a hand, go to the office, do whatever you got to do. And especially, as Jack would recommend, get in with Jellycat, e-commerce manager, North America. Now, before we move forward to our stories of the day, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about universal ads. If your growth is plateauing on social and search channels, it's time to rethink TV. It is absolutely time. Universal ads makes it simple for D2C brands to run TV campaigns designed for performance, not just awareness, okay? Without the usual guesswork and mystery of getting into television itself. Universal ads get you access to premium streaming and linear inventory Okay, all in one place. You're reaching net new audiences beyond the same crowded channels that you're already paying for and investing in today. No hidden markups, no hidden fees that eat into your results. 100% of your spend is going to the actual buy. That's not the case in other places for connected TV. Campaign setup management feels just like search and social. Get you running in minutes. It's TV that delivers for performance marketers. Go to universalads.com, sign up today, and use the code UA Cowboy. You're going to get $1,500 in ad credits, matched ad credits. Go to Universal Ads. Tell them that we sent you. Use the code UA Cowboy. Many thanks for Universal Ads being part of the show. TV is back. Yes, it is.
Dude, the humanoid robots are live again, and I'm watching the feed. They're
Aren't
live
they
for 24.
incredible?
They said they're going to be running this 24/7 now, live.
They should. They should run it all of the time. It's fascinating.
It's like so addicting because it's just new packages, and these guys are just like constantly moving new stuff. It's like kind of fun to watch.
It's like the best marketing that they can do is just to have the live stream on that robot all the time.
It's kind of crazy. It's like such a good growth hack. I'm like, that's such a good hack. Why did our brands not thinking about this?
This is the Truman Show brand that Taylor came on and talked with us about back in January. Live streaming in the warehouse, like show what you're doing. Like there's interesting things going on there. And if there's not, go get yourself a Helix 02 and have them do something in your warehouse, and then you'll have something interesting.
There's like 2 helixes in the background, ominously looking over and kind of watching the other one, like very scarily. I'm like a little scared, but it's pretty fun stuff.
I want to find this now. Helix.
It's Brett Adcock.
It's Brett Adcock. It's Brett
again.
And I think, honestly, it's really smart for them to run this from his personal account. And I also love his Twitter badge, which we are recent inductees into the Twitter badge mafia. Yeah, I'm watching it right now. The guys, the two, there it is again. This is incredible,
the two scary guys. You see the scary ones in the background, like,
I do.
They're not on. Are they on? I don't know. I don't know if they're on.
they look like they could come in and beat Bob up at any point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like the security for the main guy.
I love his name tag. They gave him a Bob name tag. You gotta love that.
Look at the one in the back. It's walking.
Yeah, it's walking around. Whoa. It's probably catching a bathroom break or something.
Catching a bathroom break is crazy.
Even robots need a break. Every 4 hours.
That's unreal.
Federal law maintains.
That's so cool.
It's so cool. Cool.
It's so fun.
Oh, look at him. He's messing up. Actually, he's messing up a label. Okay, he got it. He got it.
Oh, he got it.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Dang, isn't that cool? It's like, he's messing up. Oh, he figured it out. Awesome.
We should live stream their live stream. That would be like Inception,
Or we live stream next to him, like we are on each side of him as he's sorting packages. That'd be amazing.
Brett Adcock, come on the show and talk to us about your live stream. We are fascinated, and we think it could be the future of 3PLs. So
give us Bob.
We are interested in the e-commerce D2C community here on X. Big story today. The current thing is really Thrive Capital investing $100 million into Shopify.
Come on.
Wild. I did not expect this. Did not expect it. This news broke on the timeline. What was it? This morning? Yesterday night?
Last night.
Yesterday afternoon. This scoop comes to us from Natasha Mascarenhas. Scoop: Thrive Capital makes a rare public market investment, putting around $100 million into Shopify as a bet on AI and commerce could lead to some beneficial tailwinds. Next tweet here from Stock Savvy Shay, Joshua Kushner's firm. So those who don't know, Thrive Capital, Joshua Kushner, brother of Jared Kushner, who is wife to one of President Trump's daughters, Ivanka. Jared has been officially involved in the administration in Trump 1.0. I don't believe neither he nor Ivanka are in Trump 2.0, but Joshua Kushner's firm, Thrive Capital, just made that investment. Always interesting when the president's son-in-law's brother decides to write a 9-figure check. And then lastly, negligible cap. Here, Joshua Kushner's Thrive Capital invests $100 million in Shopify, has taken a $100 million stake, betting that AI can lead to gains in commerce and up. They're up plus 3.7. I've got the update here, plus 3.75%.
Let's go.
As of today, Shop sitting at 101.07. So continues to rise. You are the money man on this show, Colin. What are your thoughts on this investment, Shopify, Kushner family? I mean, I think it's a positive sign, regardless of anything else. But I'd like to know more of your mind on this.
Yeah, there's a maxim in finance and investing, and it's always watch the big money. Watch what the big money is doing, see what the big money is doing, and watch as they're moving. And if Thrive Capital, which is a fantastic venture fund, is investing $100 million into Shopify in buying all of that stock, it's something to watch for very substantially, because they have a track record of just basically pure home runs. I mean, they are a fantastic VC firm. And for them to invest and say, hey, Shopify is super underpriced right now, we're going to throw an absolute haymaker of a bag in here at 100 milli. That's not, I mean, that is a sizable investment. You got to realize it's not $20 million. It's not $10 million, not 50. It's not $75 million. It is 9 figures. It is $100 million. They're saying Shopify is the future of e-commerce. Shopify is the future of e-commerce because of AI and their implementation and the team. We've been saying this on the show, and we also covered it when the Shopify earnings report came out a couple of weeks ago, and we were basically like, this doesn't make any sense. I don't know why the market doesn't like this. This is crazy underpriced. I don't know why this is happening. And I think Thrive saw that and basically said, we kind of agree exactly with this. We think Shopify is the future. Here's a $100 million bag, and let's ride this thing.
And give me a 17% discount or whatever they've, been, whatever the stock has been down since the release of the earnings. And by the way, I speak not as an investor. I speak not as a financial big brain. I speak as an operator who has been inside of D2C now for about a decade and a half. Brand founder, marketing leader. I've been on the agency side. I've been around the block a little bit. There is nobody inside of our space that is doing what Shopify is doing. There's nobody.
Yeah. And
you look at how they have crushed and how they continue to grow and the tools that they have released and how they can, I think conservatively, we're looking at like 60,000 new stores a week or something. It's bananas. They're serving they are arming the rebels. They are bringing the biggest brands in on the internet over to Shopify too. And to me, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. I think Shopify owns 14% of e-commerce right now. That number's only going to grow. It's only going up and to the right. And I think this makes all the sense in the world. Get the discount and get a big buy, because they're only going to eat up more market share of the interwebs for people who are serious about actually selling on the internet and not making this like, a kind of a plaything or a bolt on to, the rest of their business, et cetera. People who are serious about making money and being an entrepreneur and entering into 2026 and beyond as a e-commerce cowboy that is making their way in the frontier of today in the digital sphere, they're going to be on Shopify.
Yeah. I think that's a great point that you make, is if you're serious about online business and you don't just want this to be a play hobby and this is going to be legitimately your foundation, this is going to be your infrastructure, you're going to go on Shopify. And when one of the smartest VC firms in the entire valley makes a huge bet, my ears perk up and they go, that's probably a pretty good idea. And so I'd say bullish Shopify, bullish all things Shopify, bullish Toby. He's still shipping personally so much. Again, we've said this on the show. You can't bet against Toby. You cannot bet against Toby. Can't bet against Harley. I mean, it's just unbelievable what they're doing over there, and the team is just incredible. This is all green lights for Shopify.
Don't bet against Toby.
No.
Don't bet against Harley, which we have released the top 5, greatest Canadians of all time, and 2 of them are there. So you don't want to bet. You don't want to bet against those guys. Neither do you want to bet against Wayne Gretzky or Paul Bunyan, who is, rumored to be Canadian rather than Minnesotan. But we will cede him to that side. Great place. Don't bet against Toby and Harley. Shopify up and to the right. Now, next story. Meta morale is low. Oh, hate to see it. This story comes to us by way of Wired.com. Meta's new reality. Record high profits. Record low morale. You hate to see it. Meta is cutting about 10% of its staff. Wired spoke with more than a dozen current and former employees about what it's like inside a company where everyone is unhappy. Quote, everyone is unhappy. Now, I don't say take this with a grain of salt. I say, there's something, there's a there. We're covering this for a reason. Most of e-commerce, is bet heavily inside of Meta for a reason. E-commerce exists in large part because of Zuck and what they have done at Meta. How things are going inside there means a great deal to us. So if you want the ad product to get better, you want big brains with happy full tanks of energy inside to continue to make this thing grow. I am reading now from Wired. This is a gate-kept article, but I am reading now for those who would like to know. Meta employees brace for layoffs next Wednesday, May 20th. Many say the vibes are historically low. Everyone is unhappy, quote. The only people who are not unhappy are literally executives, says an employee who works on Instagram. Now, anonymous employee, Social media giant plans to cut about 10% of its workforce, or nearly 8,000 people, to run the company more efficiently and offset other investments it's making, according to a human resources leader. But the layoffs, which will add to the roughly 25,000 cuts Meta has announced over the past 4 years, are far from the only cause of rock bottom morale, according to the article. Widening pay gaps among employees, courtroom losses for the company, mandatory role changes for hundreds of top engineers have also contributed to what employees view as uniquely grim atmosphere inside of Meta. Yet another issue has been the recent installation of corporate software on employees' computers to track their activities solely in the name of training AI. That one doesn't feel that good, I have to say. I mean, how good would you feel? How good would you feel if your boss put that on your laptop to train the AI, knowing that probably training AI to replace you? That doesn't feel good.
That feels brutal.
It's brutal.
Very dystopian.
A little dystopian. I'll say I know I'm a bit of a maverick, but I don't like anything being tracked on my laptop. I've had jobs before where they're like, yeah, we just want to have this little software on here so we know what's going on, and I'm like, oh no, this not gonna work. No,
this isn't gonna work.
Not for me. This not gonna do. Continue reading. They declined to be named because of company policies barring unsanctioned conversations with journalists. Quote, I don't know anyone having a good time. Vibe is a bit over it. Lack of connection to the mission, upcoming layoffs, American employees being used to train the AI models that will replace them. I mean, that makes sense. That makes sense if the vibe is a little off.
Vibes are horrendous.
I mean, it sounds like the vibes are horrendous. I wonder if there's another side to this story. Pockets of employee protests have become a constant and defining feature of the biggest tech companies, including Meta, Amazon, Google. But the latest concerns at Meta appear more widespread, so much so that they are apparently hindering the company's recruiting efforts. An employee alleges, Meta rejects that assertion. There's a lot of anger and fear, a legal staffer adds. It's frustrating to watch because it feels so unnecessary, particularly given how well Meta's ad business continues to perform. Meta largely declined to comment. The payoff, the compensation that people are getting shared as they leave. Some of the employees' complaints come down to money. In February, for the second consecutive year, Meta cut the portion of annual raises that are paid in the form of company shares, trimming them by 5% on top of last year's 10% SNP. Median total compensation at Meta fell to $388,000 last year from $417,000 in 2024, according to public filings. Pay has been further diminished by Meta shares falling about 5% this year as the company shifts. Cuts to compensation and jobs have come amid back-to-back quarters of strong profits for Meta to the tune of nearly $27 billion in the first 3 months of the year. Your thoughts on this, Colin?
This is absolutely brutal. So initially, earlier, Meta cut 10% of the total company. Now they're announcing that they're cutting another 10% of the total company. I have a inside source that says there's going to be another layoff next month as well. Not as substantial as that 10% cut, but a pretty substantial one. And so this is just not good. I mean, it's just not good morals right now. But we're seeing this in tech right now with really, really bloated companies. You saw what happened with Coinbase. Basically, these companies are saying, you know, we can operate leaner. We can operate with fewer people. This is just not fun. It's not a fun time to be there.
What I will say is that I want everybody inside of Meta to be happy-go-lucky, man. I want everybody well remunerated, which, you know, I think a lot of, perhaps a lot of marketers, especially, they might hear that a median compensation has declined to $388,000. They might hear that and say, like, yeah, cry me a river. You know, I would love to be making that, but what I will say is, let me just put this out there. I want everybody to be happy. I want everybody to be happy at Meta, because I want the ad product and ad performance to get even better than it already is. We know there's outages. We know there's mistakes. We know there's bugs. These things do happen. Our community would like to see a little more, you know, transparent communication on that at times. Yeah. But I want everybody to be happy. And I'm happy for Zuck to keep making his dollars and making more dollars. Now, I'd like my CPMs to come down a little bit while that takes place. But hey, you know, we had the Meta Marketing Performance Marketing Summit that just took place. I think good times were had by all. We're going to have Cody Whittick of Kinship come and give us the wrap up, give us the summary of what it was like there, what the vibe was. Right now, it looks like there are some unhappy people. 1,000 top engineers were forcibly moved over to Applied AI Engineering Division, working on tools and data to help research scientists develop better generative AI models, et cetera, et cetera. I just say I want everybody to be happy, because if everybody is happy on the inside, it makes me think there's a better chance of my ads and their performance going up and to the right. Is that unfounded? Do you think there might be something there?
I think I know the solution to make them happy, which is basically give everybody refunds that they're owed. So they could do that. I think that would help people.
That's us. I don't know if that's going to help them.
Well, giving's better than receiving. And so I think they need to give some refunds out. Or, hey, if you're an employee and you're on your way out the door and you want to flick that button up and just shoot some refunds out right before you get out of there, we won't be upset.
I've always wondered, and I'm sure this doesn't exist, but I've pretended in my mind that there's like a favored, kind of like a favored nation type deal. There's like a favored ad account back there somewhere. Somebody's got access, and they can just flip a switch, or, you know, just send some positive vibes in the code somewhere to make this ad account go up, you know, perform a little better, convert a little higher, make a little more. I don't know if that exists, but hey, if it does, and you do sadly get let go, we would appreciate that on our side. Thoughts and prayers for all of our friends at Meta. We hope that you are okay, and we hope that you make the cut in a positive sense. And may the algo be ever in our favor. Next story of the day, Meta morale may be a little low, but Figma and Claude and Canva, boy, they are having it out. I don't know if you remember this. It seems like so long ago now, Colin, but on the release of Claude Design, everybody was basically saying that Figma's dead. Figma's gone. out the door. Do you remember this? Stock tanked. Adobe
Yeah.
stock tanked. Do you remember this when Claude Design was released?
Yeah, I think it's hilarious that Dylan Field at Figma is basically saying, quick update, not dead, which is kind of hilarious that he's addressing the elephant in the room of
It's
like,
hilarious.
hey, Claude didn't, nuke us out of our, gills here. But, I think it's not baked in yet. This is what I'll say. I think it's not baked in yet. I think next quarter and I think the following quarter is going to be a struggle bus. I hate to beat him up like this, but I think Claude Design is really going to get incredible, and I think Canva is going to be absolutely incredible as well.
Dylan Field, CEO of Figma. Quick update, not dead. Figma Q1 results 46% year-over-year revenue growth. Pretty astounding. Accelerating for the second straight quarter. Net dollar retention rate increased to 139%, our highest rate in over 2 years, raising 2026 revenue guidance for the year. Design matters more than ever. Cool GIF video they have created here. Design is everyone's business. And then, who they made it by, what fonts were involved, etc. This got 623,000 views. People were commenting on it a lot yesterday. Austin Allred of Gauntlet AI had this to say. Next tweet here, Jack. Awkward when the company that AI was going to kill grows 46% year over year with 139% net dollar retention rate. When my company dies, please kill it like this. This is great. When my company dies, please kill it this way, sir. Jack Rains had this to say, who we had on the show yesterday. Jack Slop Cannon at Slow Ventures. He said he spent the last 3 hours in Claude Design. It's very good. It also thinks it's a bigger threat to Canva than Figma. And I think this is interesting to explore. He posts his screenshot from talking to Claude. Interesting. In your opinion, is this more of a threat to Figma or Canva? Hot take, bigger threat to Canva, but for different reasons than people think. Canva's moat is I need to make a thing right now and I don't want to think. Templates, drag and drop, social media sites, presets, brand kit, export, blah, blah, blah. The threat isn't that everyone replaces Canva tomorrow. It's that the next generation of marketers or creators who grow up prompting AI never start a Canva subscription in the first place. Death by not acquired customer. Very interesting.
Great take.
Figma, good take, Claude. Good take, really Claude. Good take.
Yeah.
Figma, point number 2, Figma is actually safer. Counterintuitively, Figma's real value isn't the design surface, it's the collaboration substrate. I think this is a fair point. I think this is a good point. Comments, multiplayer cursors, dev handoff, design systems shared across 200-person product teams, plugins, prototyping links you send to product managers. AI generating a pretty layout doesn't touch any of that. A senior designer at Stripe is not going to stop using Figma because Claude can spit out a carousel. The work isn't the artifact, it's the conversation around it. But here's the wrinkle. Figma's new products, Figma Slides, Figma Sites, Figma Make, are the part that's exposed. They're trying to expand out of pure design into make a deck, make a landing page, which is exactly the territory where just describe it to an AI wins. So Figma, the core tool is safe. Figma's growth narrative, maybe not. Deeper shift design tools have always been bicycles for designers. AI tools are bicycles for non-designers. Canva already serves that audience. They should be the most scared. The market that didn't exist, small business owners, creators, solopreneurs making their own assets, is the one Canva built. It's the same market that has the least reason to keep using Canva once describe it works. Your thoughts on this? I think Claude is very astute in its evaluation here, and good on Jack Rains for posting it.
Yeah, this is actually a really good breakdown. I kind of agree with it really well. I mean, so future project a little bit here. Imagine Claude Design probably gets, 5 to 10 to 15% better within the next 2 to 3 months. And then maybe you bake in another 20 to 30% over the 6-month time period. That's a really viable Canva, Canva kind of, I never have to plug in Canva instead. I'm going to actually be using Claude for the whole thing. So then if the workflow is, I'm a small business, I'm going to get Claude, I'm going to use that. well, now I don't want to actually pay another kind of subscription for Canva. I'm going to just use everything inside of Claude because it's good enough. It tackles most of my stuff. It also understands all of my context windows. Understands all my context windows. I can also build skills in there. I can build infographics that it knows all of my design. And it's all included within my subscription. And so that's a really good take. I totally agree with this. And I totally agree with this of never getting that first customer acquisition in the first place for the next wave of operators.
Yeah, it's a fair point. It's a fair point.
Really
I
fair point.
wonder, I wonder what the future looks like for
Yeah.
Canva in that regard. I will say, I kind of feel like Canva's ease of novice deployability. I just get in there and see what's available. I can click that, start. It's still
Crazy easy.
it's so easy
Yeah.
for millennials, you know, for Gen Alpha, for younger Gen Z. I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. But the design wars continue to roll forth. Now, before Matt Wan, co-founder and CEO of Sett, principal at Jazz Venture Partners, before he comes to us, one more story for us to cover here. Starbucks weighted vest. Real or AI? When you see this, Colin, the Starbucks limited edition weighted vest that looks fancy, got the diagonal zipper, perfectly suited for putting your juice or your bottled coffee into your pockets while you walk, have your hot girl walk. Like you said, you know, you wanted the shirt. Hot girls don't look at their phone while they walk. Is the Starbucks limited edition weighted vest, is this real or is it AI?
Oh, I want to say that it's real and it's awesome.
Is that what you're going with? Final answer?
I'm going to go with final answer.
You are correct, sir.
Let's go.
You are correct. Jack, bring this next one. So Starbucks ready to drink coffee and protein up levels morning routines with its new weighted vest and Strava challenge. This is a collab with Strava. I'm sure Zach over at Share Aura, maybe not a fan, but this is an actual thing. And I'm reading this now as they continue to level up, blending premium Starbucks coffee with 22 grams of complete protein, 5 grams of prebiotic fiber, 5 vitamins and minerals, and 2 grams of sugar. As they press into ready to drink coffee, protein, etc., they have actually developed a weighted vest that one can use and that they have teamed up with Strava in order to launch people more into. It's like, hey, we're going this way. You're going to wear this thing from us and you're going to use Strava while you are walking. The Starbucks weighted vest is real. Are you going to be buying? Are you going to be partaking? You're going to be taking this on your hot girl walks?
No, because I already have a weighted vest, but it's a really good price point too. It's only $22, which is pretty great. And it's probably going to be, I would say, a limited edition item. It's pretty cool. It's really, really cool.
It is cool.
Yeah, the website's coming soon. It's still, you know, they're still trying to get it out there. And I really love this idea. I think this is going to be a signaling thing more so than like a functionality thing. But I think this is super fun. I think this is a great idea. It looks cool. It's fun. It's a good idea.
It's kind of like so like out of pocket, like unexpected for me that I thought that this was AI initially. It's like, why are Starbucks going to make a weighted vest? What? Turns out it is real. It is real. But hey, more power to them. And I think they'll sell out. You can only get them at the Starbucks itself, I believe, at this point. And they're going to be there, and I'm sure they will sell out immediately, like all of their cups and all of their other limited edition what's do. Now, we have Matt Wan, co-founder and CEO of Sett, who is doing incredible things in the health space, especially now with functional pouches that may replace your nicotine addiction. He's also principal of Jazz Venture Partners. Before he comes to us, ladies and gentlemen, let us talk about Axon by AppLovin. If you are running a D2C brand today and you're not on Axon yet, you're leaving money on the table. That is the fact, ladies and gentlemen. Axon gets you in front of 1 billion new customers inside the games everyone loves to play already, like Solitaire, Mahjong, Candy Crush, etc. And more people play mobile games than you think. These are mainstream, financially comfortable household decision makers, and the unlock is the format. Okay, average watch time for your ads 35 seconds. I speak from experience here. When Meta was tripping in Q4 of last year and the account was horrendous and we could not get it up and to the right, what did we do? We moved spend over to Axon by AppLovin, and Axon resurrected and saved the quarter for acquiring new customers. It is not what you have heard. Some people may say, oh, it's like Facebook retargeting. No. We're talking new customers who want to come and buy from you. 80% of purchases happen within an hour of the click. Inside of a week, you can scale up to 100K per day. Miranda Pettinger did this not too long ago. Wayfair, Dr. Squatch, your favorite brands are already on the platform. Get in now before your competitors do. Go get started. Axon.ai/en/ecom Cowboy. Tell them that Chris and Colin sent you. Many thanks for Axon being part of the show. Now, we must bring the man himself in here, who is dramatically changing and formulating and innovating inside of the pouches space, which I think basically at least half of all Western men with red blood flowing in their veins are big fans of. We must welcome to the show Matt Wan, co-founder and CEO of Sett. Let's go.
What an intro. I need to have you guys tee up every fundraising conversation I have going forward.
Matt,
we can do it.
We are open to that. We are very open to that, my friend. We appreciate you joining us and making time for us, my friend. Matt, you've got to back this up for us a little bit. We had Josh Payne of OpenSky with us recently, who is so big on pouches, betting on pouches big time. And I would love to know, man, your thesis for why the world is so hot on pouches now. And then of course we want to talk about Sett and what you guys are doing inside of this space, but why is it so hot right now? This form factor seems to be everything.
Yeah, so I'll back up if you don't mind.
Please.
I got interested in space when I was running my first company, which is a supplement business called Momentous. And we had a number of, I think it's fair to say, fairly influential thought leaders in the health and human performance space involved in that business. And they kind of turned me on to the idea that nicotine has nootropic benefits. And I had no experience using nicotine whatsoever, but I'm the archetype where if you tell me there's a performance benefit to be had, I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
Right? And so I literally went and bought, this was before Zyn was a thing. So I went and bought Nicorette in the store, and
really,
it was okay. But what I found really interesting about it was you felt something right away. Yeah. And as you guys know from following the supplement space, there's just not that many substances where even if the science is good, you take it and you feel something right away. That's really limited in supplements. And, for a whole bunch of reasons, we didn't get there with Momentous on doing something in that category, which I think was still probably the right call, but it just stayed in the back of my mind. And so when I left my day job there, I then went to work in venture at Jazz, and we do all sorts of stuff around life sciences there, but occasionally stuff in consumer as well. And this sort of just stayed in the back of my mind. And, being in venture, pouches started to kind of catch on, whenever they did, right? You notice people taking these products. And I thought that was really interesting. And so what I was noticing was that there was sort of a shift in sentiment around nicotine that was probably difficult to measure. But I think what you saw was that people were starting to separate nicotine from tobacco.
True.
In the sense, nicotine, maybe pros and cons, but it's not tobacco, right? That carries all of the sort of serious health consequences associated with it. And so this business actually started because I was looking for an investment for Jazz in this category. And I couldn't quite find something that really kind of fit my criteria, got me excited, was a fit for us, but I found the opportunity to start this business instead, and I kind of just couldn't help myself. And so that's a long way of saying that how I got into it, I think is pretty closely tied into how a lot of other people have got into it too, in the sense that you have people who've always used nicotine and nicotine and tobacco, and they're looking for healthier ways to get that fix, and the pouches are sort of seen as a healthier way to do that. And then the other cohort of people coming into the space are people who look at it through this functional lens, where they're sort of what I would call nicotine curious, in the sense that maybe they don't have a history of tobacco usage, but they've heard Huberman or Attia or these types of folks talk about nicotine, and so they're like, hey, I want to try this. And now, obviously a pouch is maybe a bit less intimidating than just ripping darts at your desk.
Totally.
That's what Chris does. He just rips darts at his desk. Could you?
Maybe just I hear vacation darts don't count.
There we go. There we go. Hey, we'll take that, man. We'll take that.
Could you talk to us a little bit about scaling this in the go to market? Because I think Momentous is a great case study of, you guys got in with Huberman, and then that basically exploded the actual business itself. How are you seeing the go to market for you guys now? And then are there some creators that you really want to go after in this space as you move forward into 2026, the rest of it?
Yeah, it's a pretty good tee up, actually, because you're correct in that Huberman's relationship to Momentous had a huge impact on our business. But I think the way the story mostly gets told most of the time is a little bit unfair to us, in the sense that it makes it sound like we didn't have any business prior to that. We weren't a huge business, but I think we'd done 12 or 13 net the year before it launched. And so it wasn't like there wasn't anything working. The backdrop to it was, we'd been in business for a few years, and I had no experience when I launched that business, and it took us a really long time to figure out the formula for like what a really good D2C product looked like.
Yeah.
And it was like our third or fourth product launch where we kind of got it, in the sort of light bulb went off. And that was our collagen product, where it had a really ritualistic nature to it. It lended itself really well to subscription. We'd done enough optimizations by that point to sort of have a really good funnel around subscription. And so it was the combination of Huberman coming in, plus like the struggle, the 3+ years prior to that, of building a mousetrap that was actually quite effective, where we would have grown anyways, but Huberman made it 300% instead of 80 or 100%, right? And that informs, to me, in a really significant way, the go-to-market process with Sett, because really what we were trying to engineer here, and what I've kind of been looking for with investments after that, is like, what are the types of products that don't necessarily need to have a Huberman in order to be wildly successful, where you look at those types of people and it's a nice to have, but it's not a must have, meaning that if you get it, great, and it's a huge accelerant, but we're going to be successful regardless of that, because to sort of name a few, we've got a shelf stable, high margin product. It has a ritualistic nature to it, so it lends itself well to subscription. It's low shipping weight. It has omni-channel potential, in the sense that you can sort of validate it online, and then if it works, there's huge retail potential for it over time. I truthfully kind of like things that were in a little bit of a controversial category as well. I actually found that attractive about this particular category. And then there's some sort of other stuff below that too, but that's maybe less like, that's more of a strategic lens on it, as opposed to like a tactical, like, hey, this is how we set up our meta campaigns. But the experience sort of with Momentous, and mostly what we did wrong in launching all of those products over the first 2 or 3 years, was really informative in how we went to market with this business.
Nice.
I think this is so smart, Matt, because your learnings from Momentous, and a great D2C product, the ritualism of it, the small package size, having high margins, all of those things. I mean, they absolutely seem totally baked into Sett. And I would love if you would just, not that you have to go 12 miles deep, but I would love to hear from you on the science of this, because, for me, a background on me, an enjoyer, appreciator of nicotine. If there is a better buzz, a better for me buzz that, get that same feeling, get the hit and the rush and the focus and all of those things. If it genuinely does exist, I mean, you've got a tiger by the tail, I feel, man. And so I'd love if you could just dig into that a little bit about, I think it's called Ceretine. Is it? Is that the right way to pronounce it? Yeah, tell us about this a little bit.
Yeah, I'll always indulge a potential customer. So the story here, the story here is, again, I was looking for an investment here, and so mostly the types of companies that I was talking to, I won't name them, but they were nicotine pouch companies, right? And most of them were doing pretty well, but really what I was looking for was somebody that had something sort of unique or proprietary from a formulation perspective. As opposed to just branding it better, not to say that can't work, but that wasn't specifically what I was looking for. And I met this group of folks, mostly scientists, frankly, that were developing this product. It wasn't called Ceretine at the time. They didn't have that name. And the story was basically, hey, we've got this really interesting thing. We think it's better in X, Y, and Z ways than nicotine. And that's basically it. We're kind of going through validation on this thing. And I was like, that's not that interesting. But I was, it was friendly conversation. They were nice folks, and just kind of stayed in touch with them. And then over the course of the next year, they kind of kept coming back with more and more data on the product. And the story here essentially is that this was not actually something that they synthesized originally. This was a compound that was synthesized, believe it or not, by Philip Morris back in, it would have been the late 70s or the early 80s, I think. Wow. And essentially what was going on at that time is that this is when the tobacco companies were getting scrutinized very heavily for burying the health effects of cigarettes. Wow. And so they set a number of their scientists out to basically look for healthier alternatives, because they were worried that nicotine itself might get banned in the US.
I see.
And of course, that's not what happened, but they developed and patented 20 or 30 different compounds, which had varying levels of, kind of interest or efficacy, if you want to think about it that way. But since nicotine didn't get banned, they didn't do anything with these things.
I see.
And 20 years later, these things rolled off a patent. And so this group that I was connected with had worked in the tobacco industry. They learned about this, and they picked up on what they thought was the most compelling of these compounds. Incredible. And essentially what it is a synthetic molecule. It's synthetically derived B vitamins, nicotinic acid in particular. And what you end up with is a molecule which is substantially similar in shape to that of nicotine, but chemically unique. So it's not nicotine by definition. But again, the shape is similar enough that it has different but very similar binding potential to what are called nicotinic acetylcholine receptors, which is the part of your brain primarily that nicotine interacts with. And what really made me, the data that they ultimately presented to me and what made me lean in and say, hey, there's something really interesting here, was they did what's called a receptor binding affinity study, which is to say that they looked at the relative propensity for that molecule to bind to the different types of nicotinic acetylcholine receptors normalized against nicotine. And on the whole, it binds very strongly, but it doesn't bind particularly effectively to a specific one of those receptors. And it is a specific receptor that is believed to contribute to physical dependence symptoms, which is to say, like withdrawal symptoms in one way or another, right? And this is where I have to be very careful, because to be clear, we're not a nicotine replacement therapy. That's not the path to market for this. That's not the sort of approved type of claims that we have, but everything I said to you is true. And on top of that, because it's not a tobacco product, because it's not nicotine, we can, one, go to market without getting it approved as a tobacco product, and two, we can do whatever we want from a formulation perspective, meaning we don't have to private label somebody else's formula. We can use natural flavors and sweeteners. We can make sure the formula is pH neutral. And then in particular, the things that we do, those are, I would say, important to some consumers, but the things that you feel actually are the moisture level and pH are such that what's called the dissolution rate, meaning the rate at which you absorb it effectively, is materially slower than that of a nicotine pouch.
Oh.
And we also include L-theanine, which has very complementary effects to stimulants. In particular, with nicotine, actually has evidence in mice that it helps to mitigate certain withdrawal symptoms as well, which you, like, in theory, maybe you could add L-theanine to like a nicotine product, but again, you'd have to go through the multi-year process with the FDA in order to do that. And so the result is that you have this product that actually gives people what I would say is more like the satisfaction of nicotine. It's a very satisfying feeling, but it's not nearly as intense for most folks. And truthfully, there's probably a certain crowd of people that want the most intense version of a nicotine experience. And, that's fine. We do have stronger doses and things like that, but ultimately it's still a sort of a more mild and prolonged experience relative to the equivalent dose of nicotine. And it's more appropriate for going on a podcast per se than it is like, preparing to ride a bull, let's say.
Well, I mean, just to dive into that, I mean, who are the, kind of perfect ICP you're trying to go after? Who's the demographic that you're trying to go after? Because I totally agree with you that I think it is totally different from the normal kind of nicotine user. I think you live more in that kind of biohacking world. You live more in the human style world. Are you just going off after all of the SF tech bros and just trying to be kind of akin to them? Or is there anyone you have in mind? There we go.
There we go,
He's
Matt.
rocking.
Let's
He's
go,
rocking.
Matt. Lock in, Matt.
It's interesting you say that. So we thought when we launched the brand that we would have more success with folks that were on sort of the biohacker end of the spectrum. Again, I call them kind of the nicotine curious, people that were really using it as a cognitive tool. And really, that's probably more like 20% of our customers. I would say the lion's share of our customers are, again, what I would call the health conscious nicotine user. So maybe they would say that they're using nicotine for the cognitive effects, but most of these people have been using nicotine and tobacco products for a long time. And they are somewhere on the spectrum of health conscious. I wouldn't go so far as to call them biohackers for the most part, but they use nicotine and tobacco products. They have used them for a long time, but they go to the gym, they take supplements, they probably have a device or two, they care about how they sleep. And it's actually kind of like contrary to what the perception is of tobacco users for the most part. But there are a lot of these people, again, that are like, hey, I get some utility out of this. I like the way it makes me feel, but I'm trying to be very conscious about what I put in my body and how I can feel better day to day.
Matt,
but that's probably 70 to 80% of our customers fit that archetype.
Well, it feels like you're reading the mail. It feels like you're reading the group chat of me and all my college friends is what it feels like you're doing, Matt. Man, this is incredible. This is incredible.
Unreal.
I don't know. I mean, I guess it makes sense why this didn't exist before, but man, this if I could buy stock in it, I mean, this thing seems like it's going to the moon, Matt. I mean, it's crazy. Zen pouches particularly being consumed less and less, but I think the market is growing more. I know they've got a lot of competitors. But man, it just seems
Zen has competition coming in now, but the category itself of like total nicotine pouch consumption is still just an absolute rocket ship.
Yeah. Man, this is so fascinating, Matt. And I know this is,
and maybe I shouldn't say it, but like it's actually better for us, like
Yeah.
more people
Yeah, of
that
course.
are like accustomed to using
Totally.
pouches rather than vapes and things like that. That's actually better for us. So that's, I mean, that's always what we've said is like, hey, I mean, I don't believe that 10 years from now, nobody's going to be consuming nicotine. That's not my belief or what I think is realistic at all. So it's actually better for us the larger the pouch category is.
I totally agree. Matt, tell me this, like, I know like this is not all you do. I mean, you're principal over at Jazz. I mean, you guys you're sourcing deals. You got a number of people you're involved with. Brother, what does your day look like, man? I mean, because I wonder,
Jammed.
like, how do you do all this, brother?
How are you doing this?
I don't know. It's what I enjoy doing, right? Like, I think it's, you know, the type of thing where, you know, even if it didn't, you know, pay particularly well, this is sort of what I find interesting. But the real truth is like, I spend the vast majority of my time on this business day to day. That's really my day-to-day job. There was a period where, you know, I would meet 30 new companies every week for Jazz, but since starting that company, that's not the case. And so it's actually been really nice in the sense that I have a small number of portfolio companies that I work with at the board level for Jazz. And most of the time they're not that time intensive. Sometimes, you know, stuff's going on and it's more time than others, but for the most part as a board member, you can't actually do that much to help them. And so you're kind of just like trying to stay up to date. And then I probably meet with, on average, one new company that's raising money a week now. And again, I would probably want to do that even if I wasn't involved with Jazz still, because I find it really interesting.
That's awesome.
Matt, I got to ask selfishly, at being a biohacker guy myself and just following the industry very aggressively, I got to know, because you're in biosciences, you're following all this stuff. What is your thought on peptides and that entire market and what's going on and the future with that? Are you bullish on it or do you absolutely hate it?
I'm extremely bullish on it. But I also like, you know, it's not purely good or bad. Like I hate certain sectors of it, but like, I think the potential for it is incredible. And I think like net, it's really positive, and I think it aligns with a really compelling vision of the future, where I think that the vast majority of people are going to be able to attain, you know, much more healthy lifestyles and, you know, what was previously sort of like a difficult to achieve physique. And so like something that we like to like kind of toss around every now and then is an interesting question is like, what will be considered high status from like a physical standpoint once it's like very easy to be like skinny and muscular? Like what is it after that? Like how do you then signal to people that you're better than them, right? Which I don't necessarily know the answer to, but it's an interesting question.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's so funny.
Great question.
And if you guys don't mind, I'm sorry, I don't want to take too much of your time, but just because we're on peptides, there's a really incredible company that you guys should absolutely have on the podcast.
Tell us.
It's a portfolio company of Jazz when we've worked with from the time it was really a science project. It's called Evolve.
Evolve.
And they have you had them on already?
No, we'd love to.
No. Incredible company. They are ripping. And it started as a science project, basically, where this guy, Corey, who's a PhD, and his work centered around basically training agricultural products, plants to express particularly complicated peptides.
Really?
And so at the time it came, when we met him, the idea wasn't even to build a consumer brand, which is what it is now. It was, this is potentially a vastly cheaper way of producing biologics, which is the class of drugs that, you know, GLP-1s are in. And to do that, you normally need what's called a cell line, which is very expensive equipment to produce. You're actually, again, living cells producing these things. And what they've been able to do is get agricultural products. In the case of their first product, it's yeast, but we've been successful in different types of lettuce and spirulina and things like that before too, to actually create these bioactive peptides that again are it's made in a plant. It's a genetically modified plant, but you're able to create these peptides that are not only effective, but they pass through the gut effectively as well. And so you basically have maybe I should be careful about how I'm using language here exactly. But you have a supplement, you have a capsule that you can buy without a prescription, right? And their first product is, has GLP-1 agonist effects. Then maybe I'm not allowed to say what the next couple are, but they have a very compelling pipeline of what these other use cases for the products are as well. So you should have them on.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's crazy. If you're telling me consumers are going to be able to get GLP-1s in the form of a pill without a subscription, when you boil all that
without
down,
a prescription,
without a prescription, yeah, that's crazy. I mean, that is just bananas.
I'm looking at it right now and very impressive. Yeah, activate your body's natural GLP-1 in 4 hours. 12 plus pounds lost up to in 8 weeks. I mean, yeah, we want to talk with him, Matt. We got to have him on the show, brother.
He's probably pretty smart. He has a PhD. I would imagine he's pretty smart. He's probably got some. You know what I mean? He probably knows a little more than us.
Matt, brother, we
more than I do. That's for sure. He'll probably come in and frame it in a much more compelling way than I did. But
nice.
Yeah, if you want to hear about peptides, talk to Corey and Becca.
Around 750 fewer calories consumed per day without restrictive dieting. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh gosh.
We've got to have him on. And Matt, brother, we appreciate you joining the show and making the time. And brother, we love what you're doing with Sett and what you guys are doing inside of your portfolio. And we look forward to meeting Evolve and getting them on here. And brother, we're going to be following, and we got to have you back. Once Sett goes to Mars, we got to have you back, and we got to talk about it more, man. We appreciate you joining us.
That'd be very nice of you. I enjoyed being on. You guys have great energy. We're launching some new products in June, so that'd be a good time. Late June, maybe like July would be a good time.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
Late June, July. We'll set it up, brother. We appreciate you, man.
Great guys. Thank you.
Wow. That's crazy.
Crazy.
I mean, I get excited about that stuff. I mean, just all the biohacking stuff in the world, and just hopefully a healthier kind of, world moving forward.
Yeah, all of the things about this they're so compelling. I mean, just a better buzz, a better buzz. That's good for number one, like that one liner right there.
Sick.
Sick.
Just sick.
Just that one line has got to be worth what, $12 million. A better buzz.
So sick.
And then the science behind this is so fascinating. And then I'm on their website right now, and the mechanics of how they're doing this. The pop-ups, all the things. I mean, I'm talking about like super basic things right now, but you can just tell that there's real product innovation with a already hardened D2C knowledgeable, built team behind this.
Cracked team.
Yeah. And their flavors, and they got more coming out. It's awesome.
I mean, just think about also this as a business kind of model. So like when you think about Chad and Grunes, you break down that business, you break down the fact that it's like this type of AOV, it's a subscription, you kind of do this as a habit, all of these different things, crack team behind them. You can kind of rip that out and say all of those things about Sett to a T. And it's really, really interesting. And the fact that they're innovating on the actual technology in it, the actual ingredients, is super exciting.
Yeah.
And I mean, just the fact that he's talking with Evolve. I mean, that also sounds absolutely incredible.
I'm looking at their website right now, all of the 9 milligrams sold out.
That's
Totally
crazy.
sold out. Can't even get them.
That's
So
crazy.
to me, it says that there's like real credence to what are you saying about, like reaching like health conscious nicotine users who they're investing in their body and they want to do, they want to do their body well. And all the 9 milligrams are already gone, brother.
And ripped one right on the show. You know what I mean?
Ripped one on the show. Let's go, Matt.
Locked in.
Well, I like Matt. And as we move forward to our lightning round of stories, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about Seguno. Seguno is the only marketing suite that lives entirely inside of Shopify. What's that mean, Chris? It means your emails, your pop-ups, your banners, your reviews, it's all there where you already work and play. And it means you don't have to cede your trust to big email, who is over-inflating and over-attributing your data. Your Shopify data is your email data with Seguno. This is email 3.0. It's why they won the 2024 Shopify Build App of the Year. Okay. It's built for lean teams with big aspirations, one-click automations, actual humans that can help you. They have just released the advanced Shopify segmentation playbook. Get that at the URL scrolling across the screen. You can test drive this platform for free, and you tell them, Colin, I sent you. They'll extend that free trial to 30 days. Get with Seguno. Many thanks for them being part of the show. Now, Colin, it seems like there's so much innovation continually in CPG. So much. And related to this, there's a poly market for CPG that is coming to us. This tweet comes to us from Andrea. Just a few tickling of the twine down the 3-point line. A little seasoning here for us. Just a little bit of a window in what is coming. She says someone actually built it. A poly market for CPG. It is launching in late July. Everybody inside of the CPG world on my timeline had a lot to say about it. This got like 13,000 views. What do you think poly market for CPG is going to be like? I mean, what happens on this platform? What do you envision happening here?
I have no idea, and I thought it was absolutely hilarious that that Caleb at Seat Coffee was like, "You guys need to cover this ASAP," which is hilarious.
We are, Caleb. We are, brother.
I think it's so funny, and I would love to know how they're aggregating this data and then what this actually means. So, is this betting on basically is XYZ CPG going to go into retail? Is XYZ CPG going to fundraise? Is XYZ CPG gonna rebrand, or get this influencer? Like, what does this mean tangibly when you already look at the actual UI of Polymarket and how that is laid out? I want to know more. I want to know more about this. I'd love to see a little screenshot. Andrea, if you'd like to come on the show and just
of course,
please.
Of course. We'd love to have her on the show. And whatever team is behind this, we'd love to have you on the show. Love to chop it up. Love to talk about it. Gator Dentist, the Knobs, the No BS Knobs Dentist, who leads the D to H Down to Health show with our good friend TJ Bongiorno. He had this to say, finally, a way to keep track of all the bad takes. Nate Cooper says, what? Need to learn more. Teddy Kim, we were early on this one. Many people had a lot of things to say. I will say I'll follow it. I'll be interested in what's happening on the CPG poly market. It doesn't mean I'll be investing, or placing any bets on predictions. I'm not saying that, but interesting to follow nevertheless. And I think everybody inside of CPG will be glued to it. And who knows? Maybe we'll all be. I think it means everybody needs to sign up for Andrew's newsletter. Is what it means, so that we can 100%. All stay up to date with what is happening there. Yeah. We should ask Nate. I wonder if Nate Rosen has anything on this. I'm gonna DM him right now and ask him if he has anything on this, because we need somebody to come on and give us the deets.
Yeah,
I'm gonna DM him after the show.
This would be super interesting. I mean, I'd love to see. Yeah, I just love to see like a screenshot of it. Honestly, just give me a screenshot.
he tagged me after this gathering we had that I attended, that Nate and Joey Spangers put on down in Austin. He said, "Hey, we should do a little something together, CPG live stream." I said, "Yes, very interesting." I'm going to text him right now. Do you know anything about this CPG poly market that's coming out? Do you ever leave the sound on your text on? I like that
Never.
sound. You like that
Never.
sound? I think you
Never.
should leave it on. Do you know anything about
Never.
the CPG poly market? We'll see
I use
what he
my phone for
responds.
an hour a day.
Brother, I wish you used it a little more, to be honest.
Never.
I wish you used it a little more so that I could get a hold of you. Next in our lightning round, Snack Tank. Have you heard of Snack Tank?
No. What is this?
It turns out we have had a number of the members of Snack Tank on this show. This comes to us from Mangons. Eat Mangons. Highlight of the year so far was starting Snack Tank, a group chat with other Ecomm founders in the space. By the way, Nate Rosen says he doesn't know anything yet.
Dang.
But he says he bets he can dig and find something. I'm going to tell him, do it. He's going to find something. Then come
find the
on the
path.
show.
Make the path.
Then come on the show. I'm going to tell him we're live talking about him now. We're live talking about you now.
Dropping you.
All right. Mangon's highlight of the year so far was starting Snack Tank, a group chat with other Ecomm founders in the space to learn from each other, share challenges, and talk shite. So far, we have Oliva Dorado. We have Real Pungao. I don't know about Pungao, purveyor of raw natural vitality with a PhD in all things honey. Okay. Have you heard of Pungao? We need to have Pungao on the show.
Need him.
Caleb Sloop, of course. Seek Coffee, official sipper of the show. Maximilian Brielle, who makes kraut crackers. He is coming on the show. I don't know when he is scheduled, but he is coming. We look forward to having him. The one and only Hytham, who we had, I believe, earlier this week or last week. Sean Jagerman, building the protein bar empire at Eat Bold Bar. We need to have Sean on the show. Reborn Amit. There's a number of players here inside of the Snack Tank, and I would like to have every member on this show. This is our official invitation, and we're going to be reaching out to all of you because every one of these people that we have had on here, goated. We enjoy the innovation, the real purity of products they are bringing to the market. And also we celebrate entrepreneurs and what they are doing inside of our space. We are long Snack Tank. Do you agree, Colin?
Absolutely. Yeah, just come on the show. Have a little mess about.
Long Snack Tank. Next story, Sahil Bloom. He's doing a solid. Doing a solid to our good friends over at Cadence. Jack, can you bring this up for us? We want to see this. Okay, Sahil, he was at the airport, the Palm Beach airport yesterday, and he had to dial in the presentation of these Cadence cans. And I would like to say, if you have any CPG friends, and you are out and about in the world and you see their product, I would like to advocate that you do this very same thing. Twist the labels. Put their product in front of other people's products. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. But make them nice, twist, do them a solid. It helps. Presentation helps. We eat with our eyes. And if one can see the beauty of the label and place it prominently upon the shelf, it's going to help all of our friends at the end of the day. We celebrate what Sahil does here. Thoughts on this, Colin?
Yeah, people helping people. You love to see it. If you see your friend's product and it's tipped over on the shelf, just do this. Just go, boop. Make sure it's straight. Make sure the label is out. Make sure it just looks good. A little bit goes a long way. What's hilarious is Mr. Beast, of all people, will actually go into Walmarts, in individual Walmarts where Beast bars are sold, and fix all of the bars on the actual aisle to make sure they're perfect. So it does go a long way. You got to make these things look nice.
If Mr. Beast can take the time away from making billions of views per video and go into Walmart and Look at how his chocolate is arranged, and also film people. Hey, how are they interacting with this thing? What do they do when they get there? Worth doing. All our CPG
help your boy
friends.
out.
Solid. Help our boys out. Help them
CPG's
out.
hard enough. You know?
CPG's hard enough. Make it look nice on the shelf when you see one of our friends hanging out there. Last story of the lightning round, Nielsen has rated YouTube as the #1 TV streamer again. This is several years in a row now. This comes to us via Marketing Brew. As the platform continues to dominate streaming, it showcased its breadth of content for advertisers at Brandcast, their big event that they just held, and its depth of financial opportunities for the people who make it. This is a three-peat. For the third year in a row, Nielsen has dubbed YouTube the #1 TV streamer in watch time, and YouTube executives gathered at Lincoln Center in NYC to host Brandcast, where they once again made the case to advertisers that YouTube is everything TV is and more. Hey, three-peat, I mean, that says a lot.
I mean, I think there's also the fact that we covered the North Beam weather report, and when we covered all of the things with YouTube previously, all of the metrics were up and to the right. They were up off the week. And I mean, I'm just saying, I'm gonna throw this out there. You should diversify your spend. You should do some long form on YouTube. You should make some really nice videos. Take a look at what Huckberry is doing, long form on YouTube. It's a great brand inspo. You should check out what they're doing. You should make some good short form for YouTube. I mean, hey, just be there. Just be on the platform. Spend a little money on the platform too.
And listen to the conversations we had with Brett Curry and Jacques Spitzer, who are continually road showing around the country and doing events with YouTube. Those two guys, goats on that platform.
And then what was Brett saying for the number where ROAS underreporting? Using a third party attribute?
3.4x incrementality more than what is reported inside of the platform.
So use a third party attribution tool,
like third party attribution,
like a North Beam, and you know, it's unbelievable. You can use this product, and I am so bullish on YouTube. I think that the creators on YouTube are the best. I think that the long form video on YouTube is the best. It's just, I think it is totally the future.
As we move forward to our watch and react segment, a video or two we would like to bring to your attention and play in real time as we comment. Before we get there, let's talk about Rocked After Sale. Ladies and gentlemen, most D2C brands are obsessed with getting the next customer, as they should be. But the real lever is making more profit from the orders you're already getting. Is it not? If, let's say, you're getting 5,000 orders a month and you add $3 to $4 on each one of those orders without touching your ads, would you be interested in that? Yeah, you would. Of course you would. That's what brands like Olakai, Cozy Earth, Groove Life, they are already doing with Rocked After Sale. Adding post-purchase upsells and downsells from cart through the thank you page. I'm stacking an extra 30 to 50 cents just by showing offers from Disney Plus and Venmo, HelloFresh, etc. This is high margin revenue straight to your bottom line with no hit to your conversion, okay, no impact on LTV, and you can be live within minutes. This is a no-brainer. If you're already getting orders, you should be getting more from them. Go to aftersale.com/offers. Start monetizing what you've already built. Tell them Colin I sent you. Many thanks for Rocked After Sale being part of the show. Now, this next story that is coming to us is about Meta's incognito AI chat. The reason I wanted us to watch and react to this is because much of the conversation when it comes to interacting with AI is don't give away too much information. You give away all your business info, then you know what, Claude or Chat or somebody's going to keep all of that, and it's going to be on record, and it's buried back in the history somewhere, and people are going to be able to publicly access that. It's going to be saved, and it's going to be available somewhere for somebody and one of your competitors to take. Now, apparently, Meta's incognito AI chat is here. This video comes to us from RP Nixon, who did a recent live stream with our good friend Oren John, Roberto Nixon. And I'd like us to watch this. He's talking with the head of WhatsApp, and Meta's VP of AI products. I'd like to watch this, learn more, and stop, ask questions, spin it around, etc. Can you bring this to the front for us, Jack, and give us a little
Meta just launched
here?
Incognito Chat with Meta AI, and it might be the most important AI privacy feature we've ever seen, but I had one big question. Isn't this completely contradictory to Meta's business model? So I sat down with the head of WhatsApp and Meta's VP of AI products to find out. First, why is this so important?
I mean, if you think about how much we're all asking questions of the AI models that are out there, increasingly a lot of people are asking a lot of questions about a lot of their life. And I know for myself, I'm increasingly finding myself ask questions where I share information that's sensitive. So we wanted to give people a way to ask those questions privately.
Exactly. We've all typed something into an AI we wouldn't want anybody else to read. You know, health stuff, money stuff, work secrets. Most of us have no idea where that goes.
Now, pause here, Jack. I mean, is that fair, Colin? I think this is fair. I mean, I've said things to Claude that I don't want, somebody else to know or read. I mean, I think this is a very valid point, especially if one is treating AI as your kind of, a robotic counselor. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I wouldn't want the way I talk to Claude to get out there either. I've said some crazy things to Claude, so I'd like for this to be incognito.
Bring us forward, Jack.
Now, other platforms have private modes, but if you read the fine print, your chats can still be accessed. So I asked Vishal.
Okay, pause.
Is
this
actually...
Okay, I see, there's not like nothing to this. You're talking about your business and you're putting all your numbers in there. It's not like there's nothing to this. Like there is real credence to this. Do you agree?
Yeah.
I felt like there was a little skepticism coming from your side when we initially talked about this.
Yeah, I agree. You're pulling me in more now. I'm starting to understand this a little bit better, and I'm starting to go towards your camp on this. Can we keep watching the rest of this?
Give us more, Jack.
Different?
Yeah, this is truly private. This is not just incognito style. It's actually incognito. We at Meta cannot see them. Even if we wanted to, there was no way for us to access these messages.
Unlike anything else out there,
right,
not even Meta can see what you type. But I had to ask, what assurances do we have that this is bulletproof?
Great question. So the idea behind the system is to use as many almost redundant ways to help guarantee the privacy, right? This isn't just about us choosing not to look at it. It's building it in a way where we couldn't. And what different systems do is it means that if there is a failure in one part of the system, that doesn't necessarily mean that we could then look at things. We use routing where your question, your query, will go to a random machine. So that even if, you can imagine if we really decided we wanted to see what you were saying and we really figured out a way to get access to that machine, that's not helpful. You'd have to compromise every machine.
Now, for the contradiction I couldn't ignore. Meta's business model is built on knowing everything about you. So how does a feature designed so Meta knows nothing about you actually fit? So I asked Vishal, what am I missing here?
You're right that our scaled business inside of Instagram and Facebook is an advertising model. That's how we keep the products free. At the same time, we have for years now had end-to-end encryption on WhatsApp because we believe fundamentally that people should be able to talk to other people in a very private way that even Meta, the company operating that platform, cannot see that information. So we're just bringing that same belief system to AI.
Thoughts on this? I find
I like it.
I find it interesting. I find it relevant. I find it compelling. I mean, I don't want all of my information in all of my private chats and my business information and what's going on, revenue numbers and all of that. Like, I don't want that out there somewhere for everybody to be able to discover. And especially maybe you're having some private conversation about personal relationships in your life. You don't want all of that out there and available for somebody to be able to dig up and possibly use against you in the future.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think there needs to be this functional outlet of a private kind of intimate way that you can talk to AI where it's not stored in the back end of context. I know that I've sent and uploaded some very sensitive information about myself or some other stuff inside of either ChatGPT or Claude just to get some answers for, some things I was thinking about at the time. And it would be a nice little additive if it was like, hey, this is fully incognito. It's going to be encrypted. These are going to disappear. That kind of level. I think that chat already has a full incognito mode as well. So it's great to see. You want to see these things where it's like, hey, ideally no one is looking at this data and this data is not being fed within training the models. Hopefully not.
Well, I find it very
Hopefully
interesting, and it makes me want to test drive. Makes me want to test drive this thing.
Yeah. I don't want to see a story 5 years from now where they were like, actually, no, like, well, when we meant private, it was like 95% of the servers didn't see it. Like there were like 4 servers. They look at it.
Actually?
Yeah, really.
Really?
And
Actually?
they kind of see it, and we're training that data on it. And so it's like almost private. I don't want to see that story.
Okay, another one here on a cracked group of young engineers that have remade hearing aids for all of about $20. If you have ever had an elder person in your family, in your life, you know, like the hearing aids, they're a problem, and they cost like hundreds of eventually like thousands of dollars, and they're a pain in the rear. This team has developed them. They cost to make literally a single dollar, and they sell them for 20. Yes. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. But before we talk about them, let's talk about Proxima AI. Ladies and gentlemen, your buyer data, it already knows what ad you need to make next. You just can't read it. You cannot read it. You don't have to keep guessing. You can start reading what your buyers want. Most brands just brief from instinct. They look at what performed and make a guess and hand it off to the creative team, and hopefully it works. Problem isn't your effort. It's your ability to be able to glean signal from your actual buyers. Proxima changes the input. It reads your conversions against thousands of real shoppers across 2,000 plus e-commerce brands, shows you exactly who's buying, what they respond to, and where your account currently has gaps. You connect your Meta, you connect your Shopify. It's going to overlay your conversions back to real buyer segments inside their commerce graph, and then suddenly all your gaps become visible. Instead of just briefing from a blank page, you get a feed of creative briefs coming to you that are written for specific buyers behind your best performing ads and the ones you have not yet reached. Every brief grounded in the graph. See who bought, see what to make next. Connect your store, get a feed of creative briefs. First 3 every month free. Go to Proxima.ai. Stop the slop. Proxima.ai. Get on their platform today. Many thanks for them being part of the show. Now, our next video here comes to us from Amano Labs. They have made the hearing aid that is transforming, I think, what is possible. Of course, it's an e-commerce play. It's also going to greatly benefit the lives of elderly people and people who cannot hear. Jack, if you would play this for us from the beginning and give us some volume.
Around 800 million people worldwide need a hearing aid, and 80% will never have access to one. The average cost of a hearing aid in the US is $4,700.
Okay, just give us a second here. Just give us a second, Jack. Okay, that stat alone, 800 million people, almost like 1 in 8, 1 in 9, 1 in 10 need a hearing aid, and they'll never, 80% of those people will never have access to it. Why? It's cost too much. It costs too much. I mean, they're talking about it here. It's like few $1,000s. Keep going, Jack.
When you understand how the ear actually processes sound, the anatomy, the mechanism, you realize you don't need 90% of what's in a hearing aid.
And in the past 6 months, we found a solution, and it costs $1 to make. Just a few years ago, my grandpa needed a hearing aid. 1.5 years, he couldn't afford to get one. He couldn't even try to go get a hearing test. And once he got one, he went home and he took it off. There was too much frequency loss. There was too much noise that was in his ear, and he didn't like it at all.
So how exactly does the ear work? So sound enters through the outer membrane of the ear, where it passes through the ear canal. Once it passes through the ear canal, it hits something called the tympanic membrane, and this causes vibration, which hits 3 different bones: the malleus, the incus, and the stapes, which basically act as a lever system. Once this happens, this creates a pressure buildup, and it increases the mechanical advantage of the ear, which is exactly what we try and replicate.
We spent weeks researching every single different type of sound amplification, and we realized that it was hidden in plain sight the whole time.
We saw that we can replicate how the ear actually works in a fully mechanical solution, which is exactly what we created.
There's been a lot of iterations and a lot of change, but we ended up getting to what we wanted. Here is our tympanic membrane, built and tensioned to be able to sound exactly like your own.
Sick.
As well as levers that act like the malleus, incus, and stapes, which transfer the sound from a larger membrane to a smaller membrane, bringing you the sound that you need. We want to make sure that everybody's is custom, everyone's is exactly the way that they need it to be.
Custom
so we make sure
fit.
that everything is first printed properly, everything is specifically custom to them, and then we assemble it
The way it's actually created is through a key software component. They take a picture of their ear and it automatically gets that measurement of their ear and see exactly where every single point of their ear is. And once this is made, it takes all those components and it does a second part where the user actually gets tested for hearing loss, where they do a basic series of testing to see exactly what kind of hearing loss they have. And once this is both done, it combines these two together to create a fully personalized and custom fit hearing aid in under 10 minutes.
Hello.
Isn't this incredible, bro?
I mean, it's unbelievable. More so for the fact that they've brought down the price so substantially. And there is a ton of research, not to get too gloom about this. There's a ton of research that links hearing loss to a significant increase in developing Alzheimer's disease. And so the less you hear as you get older, it's using the same exact kind of part of your brain where Alzheimer's would be starting to propagate. And so if you can kind of jump in front of this and you're able to do this at a really low cost and kind of try to initially offset Alzheimer's. I'm not saying it's an end all be all and you're going to nuke it out of existence with this, but if you can severely delay and actually get in front of this for $20, that's really promising. This is really, really cool.
There's also just a significant loss in quality of life when you can't
so bad
hear. And my grandfather, who recently passed, there was a long time, several years, where he couldn't hear well. And, you know, he'd have his hearing aids in and sometimes they'd be on, sometimes they'd be off. Even when he had them on, you had to speak very loudly, clearly, look him in the eyes, enunciate, etc. And when I watched him several times when he couldn't hear, because you're in a crowded restaurant, you got a bunch of people around, whatever, I would just see him check out and just kind of retreat. And it's sad. It's sad. And the gap here, number one, for people being able to access one is simply cost, number one. But then number two, it's the kind like one of the founders described there when his granddaddy got his first hearing aid, he took it out when he got home because it's just too much friction, too much humming, too much frequency, whatever. It just does not work. And so this gives me great hope about the innovations to come that are actually going to make quality of life better with AI, with technology. It's going to make quality of life better, and it's going to make affordability more rampant, you know, for people to be able to have access to good hearing in their latter years as people live longer, and do so for $20 is like incredible. I think it's fantastic.
It's so incredible. And on a lighter note, I mean, more people are going to be able to listen to Drake's new albums today. Yeah, that sounds pretty sick. That sounds pretty sick.
Drake's 3 new albums that he dropped. I think he's got 40 of the top 50 on Spotify something right now. Is that the case?
40 of the top 50 on the charts right now. And you put these hearing aids and you can hear them and let us know your favorite.
All right. As we move on to our last segment, Best of the Rest, let's talk about incense. Ladies and gentlemen, don't we all want better ads? Yes, we do. Of course we do. And we'd love to have actual humans involved who are adept at creating, but we all know this process is disjointed and it's very difficult finding the right creators, manually negotiating usage rights, etc. That is why Incense exists. It is the all-in-one UGC and influencer marketing platform that actually makes creative scalable, all-in-one platform, a vetted creator marketplace, all automated influencer outreach, built-in campaign management. You get content as little as 14 days and so much better than just finding a rando TikTok and hoping it changes the trajectory of your business. They have just released the UGC Playbook 2.0. Get it at the URL scrolling across the screen. Spoiler alert, Andromeda is a good thing, and the path forward is modular UGC. You're going to learn about it when you pick up that playbook. Go to incense.pro, test drive that platform for free. Get creative. That makes your business scalable in 2026 and beyond. Many thanks for Incense being part of the show. Now, I think you are going to like this one, especially, Colin, Pope Hat Night for the Chicago White Sox. We all know His Holiness hails from Chicago, Illinois, and this is a lesson in LTV, okay? This is a lesson in LTV. This story comes to us by way of Marketing Brew. One of the hardest things in Major League Baseball is not getting an initial customer to come and visit the game. It's getting them back. It's getting people to come back again. Okay, so what the White Sox are doing is they are having several theme nights, one of them being the White Sox Immaculate Theme Night strategy. From Pope Hat Night to Fourth Wing Night, the team is upping the ante to get fans to Rate Field. And you can see some of the swag that they are developing for that, the most popular of which is the White Sox Pope Hat. At its game in August against the Cincinnati Reds, the Chicago White Sox are giving away team-branded hats shaped like miters, I suppose is how you pronounce this, M-I-T-R-E-S. The ceremonial headdresses worn by religious leaders, including Pope Leo the 14th, who is perhaps the most famous White Sox fan alive. The hats were originally offered to fans who bought tickets in certain sections at the August 11th game, but demand was so high that the team will now give them away to everyone at the ballpark that day. Pope Hat Night isn't the only theme game to knock demand out of the park for the White Sox lately. They are doing Bravo Night, Hello Kitty Night, Pokemon Go, Fourth Wing, and Barbie to ideally turn new fans into Rate Field regulars. Quote, the return fan is one of the biggest challenges all MLB teams have. This is from the White Sox VP of Marketing. You get them for one game, but that return buyer, especially in the same season, is really challenging. And I will add this Pope hat has been blessed by a local pastor. It has been blessed in with the marketing team with the White Sox. So I find this interesting, and a lesson in LTV. One must do what one must do to get buyers back. Be a little creative. Maybe you need to have a Pope night if you are the Chicago White Sox. Your thoughts on this, Colin?
This is a good idea. I want it to be a great idea.
Okay. Know how you're gonna do it? Up the ante for us.
You know how you're going to do it.
How are we going to do it?
I want the Pope there that night, and I don't want to hear any excuses. I want the Pope there that night. I want to figure out what his schedule is. I want him in Nikes. I want him throwing the first pitch. I want him rocking the hat. I want him rocking his favorite hat. Yeah. And him saying, this is actually my favorite hat. I want to see yours. That's where you go from, this is a cool idea. This is good. This is solid execution. Like Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame, generational. Yeah. Wow. This is probably marketing moment of the year. That's what you do here.
I hear you. I hear you. They did try to get the Pope in attendance for an event recently. The White Sox celebrated Pope Leo on multiple occasions last season, including holding a mass to honor his election and installing a plaque at his World Series seat. And VP of Marketing Downey said he wanted to do more marketing surrounding the Pope this year. His team immediately thought of doing a Pope Leo bobblehead, but tragically couldn't secure the necessary NIL rights. Couldn't secure the name, image, and likeness rights for Pope Leo's bobblehead. That didn't go forth.
This guy is a huge fan. How do you not get him in there?
Well, I don't know. Maybe somebody at the Vatican kind of held it up. You know, it's hard to say.
This is how you do this. I'm gonna get in here and I'm gonna fix this situation.
Fix it for us.
You get the best players on the White Sox to make a video or call him directly and say, "Hey,
what about going to the Vatican? What about going to the Vatican?"
Oh my gosh! I mean, that's a home run video right there. What are we doing here?
A home run.
And you know how he's gonna freaking love that. He's gonna love that.
I think he's gonna love it.
The best players showing up and saying, "Hey, come hang out with us." Yeah, I'm in. It's not like he's got stuff doing. He doesn't have stuff to do, dude. Let's be honest.
Let me give you some more details here. The VP of Marketing Downey, he says, I think the Pope had bigger and better things to focus his time on, so I don't blame him. He said, when the bobblehead idea didn't pan out, Downey sought some divine intervention and reached out to Father Tom Hurley, the pastor who married Downey and his wife. Downey credits Hurley with the idea of the miter-inspired hat. The two brainstormed over text to start and then moved to email. Recalled Hurley, a longtime White Sox fan who grew up on the south side of Chicago. And, this idea continued to roll forth. But I agree with you. I think we need a video, or we need maybe even some devout Catholic White Sox players to make a trip to the Vatican, personally invite Pope Leo back to Chicago, back to the South Side, baby, and be there in attendance on August 11th. His Holiness there in IRL, in real life.
Yeah, I know he wants to be there. Come on, just clear your schedule, dude. Just for like a day. Come on.
And what if? When was the last time the White Sox won a World Series? Have they ever won a World Series?
That's what I'm saying. They need to get blessed by His Holiness.
You know, if the White Sox were to win a World Series, wouldn't it be
after a blessing?
While Pope Leo was, you know, in his reign, or whatever you would call it. Not his reign.
The reign sounds a little...
In his era.
Okay. That sounds better.
Of Pope.
Reign sounds insane. Really we should bring that one back. Let's not do reign.
His era.
Yeah, his era.
You know, time period. During his time period. Don't you think it would be so cool if the Pope showed up to like Game 7 of the World Series in Chicago?
I don't see why he wouldn't. Like, I just don't see how he wouldn't. If you're a true diehard fan, you're going to figure out a way to clear that schedule.
I think you got to.
Yeah.
I think you got to. Well, we shall clip this strategy and we shall get it to the Chicago White Sox. And if we can help at all, get His Holiness in attendance, we shall do our part. We shall do our part, sirs. Next on Best of the Rest here, Costco 10-liter bucket of wine. Apparently it does exist. Now, the cab here has gotten some positive reviews on the interwebs as of late. I saw actually a wine connoisseur. What do you call a wine expert? Don't they have a specific word? There's a word that they have.
Oh gosh, I'm totally blanking on it too.
I'm blanking on this word right now, but I want to get it right because I think it is relevant to a sommelier. A sommelier. I saw a sommelier reviewing the Kirkland cab as of late, and he was a fan.
Yeah.
Now, apparently, not just the box available, but a 10-liter bucket that I don't know if you hook up a spigot to it or how you get it out of there, but a 10-liter bucket of Kirkland cab is now available. Are you a fan of this? You think this is going to be a win? It's going to be, suburban moms picking this one up for the fridge, for the garage fridge, perhaps.
Yeah, suburban mom parties just got crazy this summer. if we're gonna drop 3 of these bad boys and some Drake in the background, suburban moms are going wild. Okay. This is gonna be a suburban mom summer. Watch out for it. It's gonna get crazy.
You know, there's always comments about white boy summer. It's suburban mom summer. That's what we're talking about. Suburban mom summer, Kirkland cab, get the 10-liter bucket, and kudos to you.
Wow.
Now, hey, this one I'm excited about. I think you're gonna love this, Jack. I want you to pull up this video. This, to me, number one, I want to eat it this weekend. Number two, I think this could be like a viral restaurant if it could actually be made. This is a pizza Caesar salad burrito, my friend.
I'll eat it.
Okay. The grain is gone. Okay. We have made a pizza-esque wrap here by cooking it in the oven. And then what do we put on the inside? We're putting Caesar salad in that bad boy. I think you got to top out here. What we're talking, like, maybe 600 calories, 650, 700. I mean, I don't know, but look at this thing. Don't you think this would sell like hotcakes? I mean, for lunch, the quick pick me up, like move over a standard $15 salad, move over Chipotle, give me the pizza burrito with Caesar salad on the inside. This looks incredible to me.
Yeah, plus you get the protein from the cheese and the pepperonis. So you get some protein in there and a little bit of greens, and maybe you can throw some cool stuff in there too. I love this a ton. What we like to do is we'll make pizzas, except we don't use bread. We'll actually use a Greek yogurt, and then you can mix that with flour, and it makes an incredible pizza dough.
Well, when you add the flour, though, isn't that bread? I mean, haven't you just made bread?
No, it's not. I don't think it's flour. I was wrong on that. It's not flour. It's like baking soda. Yeah, it's incredible. So it's not adding any of the kind of traditional grain stuff. So I love this. I love this as an alternative, as long as it tastes good.
I think it's got to taste incredible. I mean, it
It
looks
will.
so delicious.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's maybe it's a little greasy on the hands. I wonder. But to me, this seems like a home run. What's the big salad chain that everybody loves?
Sweet green?
Sweet green. Move over,
Yeah.
Sweet green. This is like
Over sweet green.
this is like the best of Sweet Green and Chipotle had an Italian
Yeah.
baby, and Chipotle and Sweet Green's Italian baby is here, and it's pizza burritos with
I love it.
salad on the inside.
Let's go.
I want to see this at Olive Garden is where I want to see it. I
I
may
want
or
to see
may
it at a
not.
baseball game.
I'd love to see it at a White Sox game, or for me, probably Rangers or Houston Astros.
Yeah.
I want to see this thing at Olive Garden because I have one coming down the street. There is an Olive
Nice.
Garden coming here soon.
Nice.
I want a pizza burrito.
That's fair.
Next, best of the rest and last story of the day before our moment of Zen: Adidas and Toy Story collab. I'm not sold on this one. Toy Story 5 is coming out. Like, who knew that there's 5 Toy Stories? I did not know. This is like a
Dang.
repeat. This is like a re-release. Adidas has a new Toy Story collab with Buzz Lightyear sneakers that actually light up. You dig into this. The franchise and Adidas are hardly strangers, with some semi-frequent collabs dating back to 2019's release of Toy Story 4. Apparently, Toy Story 4 came out like 7 years ago. Who knew? Now, with a new film around the corner next month, the sportswear brand is teaming back up with the animation studio for a 3-sneaker collection, which includes a nod to the franchise's beloved astronaut, Buzz Lightyear, and a trio of intricately detailed styles connected to the film. Toy Story, Adidas, A-Star, Control 5, Buzz Lightyear, that is getting the most attention so far. Apparently, this is on trend with a 2000 running shoe as its base, and the Buzz Lightyear branded pair dons the character's signature white, lime green, purple color combination. Lightyear branding appears on the tongue, while a Space Ranger badge is featured on the heel. I just kind of feel like these are boo-boo.
Yeah, if you look through the actual sneaker itself, there's a silhouette of the shoe from the side. And they just don't look that great. You know what I mean? It's like they could have done the actual Adidas shoe and made it a little bit more, kind of a little bit of a wink.
Oh.
Maybe done a little bit more casual stuff, but I just don't think this is a real good collaboration from a design aspect.
Not the move.
Yeah, not the move.
Not the move. Not everything's a win. Not everything's a win. But I saw this and I thought, oh, man, this one probably should have stayed.
In the drafts.
That one should have stayed in the drafts.
Yeah, stay in the drafts.
Moment of Zen as we depart for the weekend. Jack, I'd like you to play this video, but I'd like you to leave the volume off, because as we play this, I want to give Colin the last word here before we depart for the weekend. The video here in our Moment of Zen is a beaver who is indoors and is doing what beavers do, man. He's building a dam. He's building a dam with towels, with Christmas tree.
Come on.
With plushies, whatever he can find, he's doing what he does. This beaver was orphaned and rescued as a newborn, and his instinct is to build a dam, even though it's never seen its parents build one. And he's doing what he does best. As we watch this, words of wisdom, parting words for us, Colin Doherty.
I really want this to be real and not AI. So I hope that this is real, because this is super cute.
It's real. 2.6 million views. I mean, if it gets a lot of views, it's got to be real.
Yeah, that's how it works. I love it.
That is how it works. Many thanks to Ashwinn of Forge Design for joining us, giving the update on Oklahoma Smokes and all that they are doing in their branding design studio. Many thanks to Matt Wan of Sett for joining us on the show. They are doing incredible things in the pouch and health space. We want to have Evolve from their portfolio join us, his portfolio over at Jazz Venture Partners. Many thanks to Incense, Seguno, Postscript, Rocked, Aftercell, Axon by App11, Proxima, and Universal Ads for making this show possible. We're going to be releasing a lot of content over the weekend. Stay tuned for many weekend watches. Thanks for joining us. We will see you on the other side.